I skipped a few days uh, just because I was running late and I didn't want to do a live stream around midnight. I really don't enjoy talking with people who have mental illness and, if not mental illness, have very low IQs. It's not a rewarding experience unless they're like, if they were dropping super chats, that would be one thing. But to sit here and have this feel like I'm in a virtual padded room with these people, it it was stressful. So I'm gonna keep trying to do these earlier, although not too early. Probably around 9ish, 10ish, and this one is gonna be short. But yeah, I didn't want to do ones around midnight anymore because the people I get on here are retarded or crazy as fuck, and again, it's not rewarding at all. It's talking with them. It'd be one thing to if they were dropping super chats and cash apps and stuff like that, but they're not. So it wasn't worth talking to them. And as soon as it hits midnight, it's like all the crazies come out like clockwork. Like it's like they have their own retard o'clock that tells them to, oh, now it's time for me to shine on live streams by being a complete ass. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. Then some of the people are just foreigners from overseas, and I have no problem with that. The problem with that is if they're not from a English, if they're not from a westernized anglophone speaking country, anglophone mean English speaking, um, then most of them are not going to be very well acquainted with the topics that I address, unless I'm specifically addressing something germane to something overseas, like when I'm talking about passport bros or something like that. But otherwise, I'm not going to do any more midnight stuff. Like I said, I don't like being up there late, and again, it would be fine if I was up that late, if it was rewarding with super chats or cash apps, or if the people were just really engaging. And none of those three have been the case. What's up, Ben? He says hi. Um, so this live stream is probably gonna be short. Um, I just came from the gym like 20 minutes ago, so I'm pretty tired. And so we already got some retards on here. So anyway, um, Monica M says, "I wish I can donate." I just asked if give me a like and a subscribe. That's just as good, Monica. Like and a subscribe, and if you can share it, um, sometimes that's better than donating. Seriously. Um, but yeah, so since last week, I've been doing like these streams talking about paranormal topics. Today, I'm gonna take a break from that. Like I said, I skipped the last 2 days, Sunday and Monday, just because I was tired and the time that I had free was like late. It was like around midnight, and I just didn't want to start a stream at midnight, being I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and I had to get up in the morning. So I'm gonna try to keep them back to around 9, 10 p.m. Now, if it goes over past midnight, that's fine, but I don't want to start the stream at midnight. If you guys understand what I'm saying. So, like I said, the past last week I've been addressing paranormal topics. The first day it was just anything paranormal, and the conversation was all over the place. So I decided to do specific topics within the paranormal discussion. So the second day was on astrology. The third day was on psychic readings, and the fourth day was on spirits. Um, So I'm going to continue that tomorrow, but today is going to be Ask Me Anything Tuesday. Ask Me Anything Tuesday or Ask Me Anything Day. on my stream means that you can ask me any sort of rational question, okay? As long as it's a rational question and it's respectful, I'll answer it. But if it falls outside of that scope, I won't answer it. And this is the ask me anything are the only days that you can ask me something that's not tethered to a particular topic. On any other given day, I have a specific topic on my live streams and I stick to those topics. Ben says why no one's watching. Uh, je ne connais pas. I don't know. Um, and Akoka says I wish for cheese. Okay. Himothy says I liked and sub. Appreciate it, Himothy. Ben says never mind. Okay. Himothy says I did. No, I see it. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Uh, YR Nallen says what's up, Unc? What's up? Phil Clogger says is you trapping? No, no, you, no. And why would I, if I'm live streaming, say that I'm doing something of a criminal activity? Does that make any sense? I know you might be used to going to live streams with some morons, but just realize once you've clicked onto this live stream with on this YouTube channel, Just A Contrarian, I provide a higher IQ sort of discussion. So if you want to talk about nigger things and ghetto shit, go to another live stream. Snapshot Sniper says, "How you doing, bro?" I'm doing all right, man. What's going on? Um, I just decided to do like a Ask Me Anything Tuesday just because I'm too tired to get into like a specific topic. Tomorrow I'll get back into a specific topic. I think I'm a on the paranormal stuff. I've been doing that all last week, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I think like tomorrow's topic is going to be on UFO and aliens. So hopefully people will enjoy that. And I know I'm gonna get a whole bunch of people saying stuff about that is real and people claiming they've seen them or even met aliens and all sorts of stuff. That's going to be interesting. Um, Thanksgiving plans, just being at home with my mom's sister, niece, and nephew. I think my grandmother will come by. Um, but yeah, I like I said, I didn't want to do a specific topic tonight. I'm kind of tired. Went to the gym, ran, did martial arts, really. So I feel kind of beat up, and I lost a close family member today, so didn't really feel like getting into any sort of serious topics today. Carl T said, "Shout out to your Mimo, thank you." I have a little bit of uh, AI generated music in the background called Star Wars music and ambience. Naboo, peaceful scene of the Theed Royal Palace. So it's like a image of the Theed Royal Palace where they first met Padme Amidala, and it's playing a bunch of different Star Wars themed music. I wanted something relaxing. Like I said, I'm a little bit like I worked out like extra hard today just because I wanted to get the stress out from losing someone. Have I witnessed a UFO? Um, uh, as far as an alien UFO, no. So I'm gonna make that clear. When I do that live stream, I'm gonna make sure that I'm talking about alien UFOs. What's up, Eric? What's going on, bro? It's funny. It seemed like ever since I moved back here, that I've gotten back in contact with my older crew, whereas the crew that I started knowing when I was at my grandmother's house, I don't talk to them as much. That's the I don't know if that's just I guess that's just coincidence. Carl T says my condolences. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, to get back to sorry, snapshot snipers question. I've witnessed UFOs, but not alien UFOs. I've just witnessed, phenomena in the sky that I couldn't identify. But on later interpretation, I figured what they were, or kind of inferred what they were. Like a few times, I figured out they were planets. Like I remember seeing a really bright thing in the sky, and then I looked it up and realized that Venus was visible to the naked eye. So that's what I was seeing. Another particular year, it was Mars actually, and my father was, my father has a conspiratorial mind, so he claimed it was some sort of alien UFO or satellite, and so I was like, Dad, it's Mars. He's like, well, how would you know? I was like, because they've already, mentioned this in, the news and like websites like space.com and you know, but he was like he was unfettered in his belief that we were seeing some sort of alien object in the sky, but it was just Mars. It was Mars, and Venus is often seen in the night sky and sometimes in the day sky as well, which is why back in the day it was mistakenly called the evening star and the morning star. And this is actually a thing often used in logic to talk about co-referential terms and um, instantiation of terms and the this theory of uh, what is it, descriptive whatever. We'll have to get into all that analytic philosophy stuff, but the point is, upon further study, people realized that the evening star and the morning star were both the same thing, and neither of them were stars. They were actually the planet Venus, which is visible to the naked eye at particular parts in particular regions of the world at particular times. So, and it got into a whole thing about reference and meaning and co-referential terms, meaning evening star, morning star, both being co-referential terms referring to Venus, but both seemingly to be different things. Don't even get me started like in logic or philosophy of language and stuff like or uh, um, or other similar topics. They'll talk about stuff like that all the time, or like Mark Twain referring to the author, you know, Samuel, whatever. But anyway, so all the UFOs I've seen, I've never seen anything that I could call alien. Uh, 2 weeks ago, I saw a shooting star, which was awesome. I haven't seen a shooting star in a long time, and I was running. It was I think in the evening, and I was running. I got to see a shooting star. That was kind of awesome. So that was technically, I guess you could call a UFO as well. But I have not seen any like UFOs as far as like a flying saucer or aliens. Nothing like that. Eric says I see UFOs all the time. I live next to a Boeing facility and an Air Force base. Oh yeah, so yeah, you're definitely gonna see a lot of phenomena there. Testing aircraft, sorts of them doing flights and yeah, absolutely. Geraldo Senya says hablas español. No, just English over here. I'm afraid. I took 5 years of French. I didn't take Spanish, so I know very little Spanish. Started learning a little bit of Spanish when I lived in the like the Washington D.C. area because pretty much all my friends in the neighborhood were Latino. I mean, like so much so like they even trying to hook me up with their sisters and all that sort of shit. So, which I wish I did. Like I'm like, well, probably well, it's probably a good thing I didn't because I probably have kids right now because these girls were hot. But yeah, no, I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. I used to know a little bit, una paquita, you know, back in like the late 90s when I was living in the DC suburbs, like in Silver Spring and stuff like that, but not anymore. Shoot, I barely know any of the French that I learned for 5 years. But yeah, aside of the UFO thing, I'm thinking of some other paranormal topics to bring up in the future live stream. So definitely gonna do the alien UFO thing. That's a major one. And I think I'm gonna do one all on cryptozoology, which is just a fancy way of talking about monsters or animals that haven't been classified yet. And I'm gonna be fair with that because sometimes some cryptozoological animals exist. What happens is they actually end up getting classified in biology and they're no longer considered cryptozoological species. They're like regular animals. For instance, I was talking about the giant squid. The giant squid was something that was considered, a monster at one point. Like it was like, maybe identified with the kraken or the leviathan and all this sort of stuff. But on further study on the seven seas, we found out there really are giant squids. So they're no longer considered monsters. Well, I mean, they may still look monstrous, but they're actually classified, as marine animals. Whereas a lot of cryptozoological animals have not been verified, like Sasquatch, Bigfoot, bottom, the Abominable Snowman, Loch Ness Monster, the New Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, um, skin changers, um, werewolves. These are all things that are still uh, up in the air based on like casual observations. So I think I'll probably do a stream on that too. Um, and I don't know, and I'm running out of other like paranormal ideas. Maybe one on like ESP and stuff like that, like ESP, telekinesis, telepathy, that sort of thing. I'll probably do one on that. So like all the like sort of like psychic powers people might possess. I might do one on that one. Other than those three, mm, that might close it out because I can't think of anything outside of those three. I mean, there's tons of paranormal sorts of topics, but I mean, one that can carry, one that is not. But I want some stuff that's not really too niche, if that makes sense. I haven't got any. I don't see any chats. Let me make sure I'm getting my stuff here. Sometimes sometimes the chat room will freeze on my end, and you're probably sending me messages, and I cannot see them. So, uh, so let me tinker with this to make sure I'm getting all my messages. Yeah, it looks like I was missing some messages, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm glad I made sure to check it. Now that I can see all the messages that were missing. Sorry. So if you guys thought I was ignoring you, I wasn't. I couldn't see these messages. There's a lot of them I missed. I'm gonna go all the way back up. Mega Minds wave is waving. Joshua says you're black. Astonishing observation. You truly are of a keen mind, Joshua H. Fucking idiot. Asia Ramsey says you seem like a good man. Thank you. Okay, that Akina says, sup Morgan Freeman. That earned you a timeout. Uh, Eric says I was at work and saw a white triangle flying really low. like about 300 feet. That definitely sounds like aircraft. One of the things is when people identify things in the sky, they're typically very mistaken about the distance. Distance is very hard to gauge subjectively when you're looking at the sky, unless you have some objective way of measuring it with some sort of device, or you can, um, use some sort of uh, techniques that astronomers use. But sometimes things will seem closer than what they really are, especially when you when you interplay that with factors like the size of the object that you're actually looking at and the light upon it. So, snapshot says Eric, flying V government issue. Hello. Asia says aliens aren't real though. Oh, I mean, I agree with you, Asia, but the thing is, here's the thing, Asia. So I'm bringing up all these paranormal topics this week and last week as a sneaky way of teaching people skepticism and critical thinking skills. See, if I just say, "Hey, what you believe is bullshit," people wouldn't tune in. Like you got to draw them in by actually, give them a fair chance to explore their beliefs and views and stuff like that. And I'm open to it. I'm not going to just say, "Hey, all this stuff is BS." I will say I find a lot of this stuff dubious, but who knows if upon you know if the light of evidence shines upon these claims that we might have to modify or revise our skepticism on it. So I try to be fair, but but like I said, bringing up these paranormal topics is a sneaky way of me showing people critical thinking skills and a sort of skepticism. Okay, and I mean it lets me draw from a lot of the different subjects that I've studied academically, like psychology and philosophy, linguistics and biology and astronomy, um, stuff like that. So it it's really interesting. Blood spill says if you could commit a crime that cannot be committed again, what would it be? Um, I don't know. Take the crypto wallet of some billionaire crypto bro. Eric says, but there's a lot of people with airplanes out there. Could have been some rich dude's glider or something. True. Asia says, "Are you married?" I am. Are you? Why you're offering? So I'm joking. Are you? She says, "Are you?" Well, I don't know why they hit this comment. Asia it just says, "Are you a Christian?" I don't know why that was considered a sensitive comment, but I don't control the YouTube algorithm. No, I'm not Christian. Uh, Dilho says married people often regret their decisions. Well, I don't. That's because they married the wrong people. Here's the thing. People marry for superficial reasons, especially guys. They marry someone who's a hot piece of ass without, you know, looking into whether she is wifey material. That's their fault. I don't feel bad for guys who marry for the wrong reasons. If you married someone just because they were hot, then you're stupid. You should have married for someone who you could see being the mother of your children and someone who could run a household as well as you want to clap her cheeks. Women often marry for the wrong reason because they don't have fathers that they can give them good advice on solid men, and they'll marry a guy just because he's hot or just because they think he has a lot of money, but that doesn't mean he's a good person. So both both people can make those sort of shallow mistakes. Grimace says, "Mick, hello, Mick, what's up?" Asia says marriage is beautiful. I agree. Eric says I saw Venus once. She was on her way to play tennis. Well, that's the uglier Venus. I'm joking, not really. Uh, Del says that depends. Jason Solera says, "Why are black men so homophobic?" If Okay, so let's assume that's true, Jason, which it isn't, by the way. If that's true, maybe the opposite, maybe the converse question should be, why are non-black men so accepting of it? Here's something: is homosexual activity something that every person can practice within a given society, and they can still continue to reproduce that, to reproduce people? Maybe some men, more masculine men, just don't like homosexuality because they find it, well, one, some find it deviant because of their religious beliefs. Many black people are are religious, whether Christian or Muslim. That's number one. Two, outside of that, men who are more masculine are gonna shy away from that as well, because it is not something that masculine men are interested in, because it doesn't provide them anything. And I mean, look, homosexuality has been around since the beginning of human civilization, uh, but it's always been an alternative lifestyle. Trying to tell, trying to tell the majority of people to accept something that is of to accept something that only a small percentage of people within the society do. It's not is that can be unreasonable, depending on what it is and to what degree. Uh, but to label all black men homophobic is patently false. So maybe you should check your prep. Maybe you should check your assumptions behind that claim that you just made. Asia says because the aliens aren't real. We still talking about that. Eric says a shooting star, was it Alec Baldwin? Asia says LOL. No, it was like an actual shooting star. Like I assumed it was a meteor. It looked a meteor of some sort. Once it's in this, once it comes into the Earth's atmosphere, I guess it's termed a meteorite. But it, you know, it. I think I saw a meteor, so you know, jettisoning across the sky, falling stars. So of course I made a wish upon it. I told my wife I made a wish upon it, but I told her I'm not gonna tell her what the wish is, because you're not supposed to tell people your wish you make upon a falling star. Um, and I'm not gonna tell you guys either, but you know, hopefully it will come true. Oh, this faggot is back. All right, you can go. I don't know. I need to start doing PC live streams where I can permanently ban someone from their ISP. That way, unfortunately, with the vertical live streams, I can only ban someone's username, and then if they're desperate enough, which a lot of them are, they just keep making up different usernames to come back into these live streams. Because the thing is, they get banned from like 15, 20 different live streams just being retarded and saying a whole bunch of gay ass shit. And then these little fanukes, after they get banned, will just make up new usernames, but it's under the same ISP. Once I'm doing a PC live stream and I ban you from your ISP. So unless you're getting a whole different internet service, you're a done. So I need to start doing that. That way I can permanently screen people out. They just says, "Are you married?" Yeah, yes, I think there's a time gap because I wasn't seeing my chats, Asia, but yeah, like I said, yes, I am. She says bonjour, salut, ça va? Pourquoi? You ask me why what? Comment? Um, Sandy G says I'm French too. I'm not French. I just taken 5 years of French. Asia says, "Dang, so you're older." Are you trying to hit on me, Asia? She said you look great. Thank you. Like I said, I just came from the gym. I ran earlier, did some martial arts briefly, just to kind of stretch out a bit, and hit the gym for like 2 hours, just because I was out of sorts because I lost someone today. The very person who came to live at my grandmother's house, which is why I moved back here, so that she could have a place to be because my cousin and her husband already living there, so the house was getting too crowded. So I figured with my cousin and her husband there, they could pretty much look over my grandmother as well as look over my family member who passed away today. So, as soon as I found out, I did like a pretty good run. Nothing like heartbreak and frustration to fuel a good workout. Martello says, on the contrary to what Sarah's Newberry says, you look like Gus from Breaking Bad. I really don't look like that dude, and I have nothing against him because he's an amazing actor. Two, um, the dude's been around since the '80s. He looks pretty fly for his. That's a pretty fly dude for his age. It's like funny nowadays. He's known for playing all the best bad guys in almost every IP. He played the bad guy on Breaking Bad, on Mandalorian, on The Boys. Um, he's he's in some new movie as well, playing a bad guy. Fuck, what is it? It's I can't remember, but he's just like a beast nowadays, just playing bad guys. But he seems like really cool. Like the first time I ever seen him was in this old Spike Lee movie called School Days, where he played one of the frat brothers, and he was the president of the frat that Spike Lee's character was trying to get into, and I think that was the first time I ever seen him in a movie. And he's been in a bunch of Spike Lee movies since, and in other things as well. But I look nothing like him. Some of you are just fucking racist. I'm just gonna call it out straight up because you guys will always compare me to every single black person you can think of in Hollywood, and I look like none of them. I don't look like Don Cheadle. I do not look like Gus from Breaking Bad. I don't even watch Breaking Bad. Literally only watched 1 or 2 episodes of that whole series because I wasn't interested in seeing a show about someone dealing drugs when I live in Baltimore. I can see that like across the street. Anyway, just was never interested. Um, then I've been called other names of actors. Literally, people. Someone just said Morgan Freeman. I look nothing like fucking Morgan Freeman. Shit, I look younger than Morgan Freeman than he did 40 years ago when I first saw him on the Electric Company. When he played the I think he played Count Dracula on the Electric Company back in the 80s on PBS. For people who don't know, Electric Company was like a children's show that came on like right after like Sesame Street. Um, and that was like the first thing I ever seen him in. He was like in his 30s or early 40s back then, and I still look younger than him. And there's literally no facial resemblance between I and Morgan Freeman, and hardly any between me and the actor who's half black, half Italian, who plays Gus from Breaking Bad. So the next time I see you saying that or someone else, I'm just gonna time you out automatically. This is your warning. Uh, Eric says the cryptids are fun. I like Mexican cryptids because those things might exist. Well, I guess the chupacabra is a sort of an example of a Mexican cryptid, even though they talk about them here in America as well. Like, but I think mostly in the Southwest, in the Southwest United States. Um, where what's some other Mexican cryptids? I can't think of too many. I know like the skinwalkers, but that's just because both Mexicans and indigenous people here in America share those same native beliefs and like the skinwalkers and stuff like that. Um, but I can't think of too many other Mexican cryptids. I know of a bunch from like Indonesia and the Philippines, but it would be no point of me addressing those in my live stream because most people won't even be familiar with all the different creatures or cryptids from like Indonesia and the Philippines unless they watch all those all those nice horror movies that you can watch on Netflix. Netflix has a bunch of Indo horror movies. Asia keeps asking me, "Am I married or not?" I think I've already answered. I don't know how far behind this chat I am in the chat room. Jay Hasha's God said he could easily catch the Leviathan since he's the creator of it. God said that? I don't know. I don't remember that verse, but maybe you're right. I don't know. Rizzo says you're bad. Whoever claimed that I was good. Asia says no. Sarah says you. All right. He did it twice, so he is timed out. Um, Dill says good question, Asia, but I don't think he's paying attention to us. Again, guys, you had to, like I said, the chat room froze, so I had to go in, tinker with it, so that I could get all my comments back up. So that's why I'm now on a delay. Plus, I'm always on a delay in every live stream because I address every comment. So I'm always going to be like 5-10 minutes behind. People who are ask anyone who's been in my live streams previously, like Eric, he knows this is normal because I'm going to be behind if people want me to address their comments. Unless you want me to ignore everyone's comments, then I'm not going to be in sync with the comments coming in at the same time. Big Bad Fresno been here says reptilian shapeshifters. Yeah, that'll fall under my cryptozoology live stream, Big Bad, because like I said, if I address like specific creatures or cryptids or whatever, it'll be too niche. So I'd rather just address them all in one stream, and everyone can just point out the different sorts of creatures they've heard of, or that they've claimed that they've witnessed or observed or interacted with or whatever. Uh, and then Priam says, "Hey bro, where are you from?" I'm from the United States. Kendra Fitch says, "Hi, what's up, Kendra?" Eric says, "That sucks. You can't see the chat. I had some zingers in there." Well, I can. So I'm caught up now. Well, I'm catching up, I should say. Can you guys hear the Star Wars music in the background? Definitely making me feel like watching the original trilogy right now. Shit, makes me even want to watch the sequel trilogy. Well, no, pause. The prequel trilogy, not the sequel. I will not watch the sequel trilogy ever again. And by the way, I've watched all those multiple times, so I didn't just watch the sequel trilogy movies once. I watched all of them at least 2 or 3 times. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalker. I've seen those all like at least 3 times. I would say at least 2 times, but almost all of them I'm pretty sure I watched 3 times. I may have watched Force Awakens or Last Jedi 4, but I'm not sure. So Before people say, "Oh, you just shitting on the," no, I've watched them multiple times, and I saw all three of them in the theater. So, but they suck. But I can watch the original trilogy anytime. That's why I bought them on DVD, so I can always have a hard copy in case I want to watch it. Because you can't trust something on a streaming platform, because if that streaming platform is removed by that entertainment company, or they just decide to take off a particular show or movie, then what can you do? That's why I don't believe in buying. I don't believe in buying digital movies or digital TV shows. If I want something, I'm gonna buy the hard copy of it. Pause. Leonidas Lewis says yo. PJ Tucker says respect. Leonidas, yeah, you're on timeout now because dumb shit. Dill says at Daddy Dempsey, I've already heard each and every joke there is about my handle. Just having quote unquote daddy in your handle arises questions beyond blah 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 blah. PJ says, "Yo, you cool? Don't let them talk. I know I have a dream. I get beat down, uh, down like me." Someone saying, "Hi, ma'am." Just on that alone, you're getting timed out for being a retard. Uh, Eric says the white triangle I saw flew right over us and was below the mountain range we were at. It had to pull up to get over the mountain. I think it was some rich guy's personal craft. When you say glider, do you mean like someone can be physically in the glider, or like or you mean like a glider that's like remotely controlled? That's why I was confused when you were saying glider, because I'm thinking that could be either or. Apache Adventures says, "Do you know where fish keep their money?" I kind of know that joke, but I'm really too tired to even try to figure it out that well. Tired. Mahesh says hi. Sorry I can't get your last name. I'll have to put on my reading glasses. I don't feel like it. Unless my eyes get blurry, then I will. Dill says thumbs up just because you seem interesting. I was just passing through to see what the trolls are dishing out, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Biff says, "Have I seen you before?" Possibly. I don't know. I don't know where you live. NFGT says, "Hola, what's up?" A Krakistan, is my comment censored? No, unless there was another comment following. Chicken Dipper says, thumbs down. Well, okay. Here's the thing, guys. A thumbs up or down still feeds the algorithm for me. So, uh, Joshua says true. Dill says, wow, he's way behind the chats. Again, it froze on me, so I had to go in and fix it so that I could see the stream. So, but beyond that, I'm always going to be behind because I address every comment. That's just the nature of you know the chat room. Joshua says women make the worst decisions. Hmm, some, some men don't make the best decisions either. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow. Well, never mind. um, Dill says Asia, he's married. Uh, he says not the greatest of words. Noob says, hey, you look young. Appreciate it. Well, except for the gray hair, I guess. But sometimes I dye it. I might put on my. I'm tired. I think I'm gonna put on my reading glasses. Let's see. if I can deal. Yeah, I'm gonna put on my reading glasses. I think as I got tired, it made my eyes weary too. Oh, that's a little better. Dill says small kids can say quote unquote daddy, but full grown adults not so much. Right. Unless you're talking to someone who is of a romantic interest to you, that probably is not appropriate. I mean, you see, Diddy did it, but we know what kind of time that Diddy was on. Jennifer says good stuff. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm not going to address what Biff just said. Omar Zaman says, who is more important, the masculine man or the sensitive man, or somewhere in between? I don't believe in something in between. Like Miyagi told Daniel LaRusse a long time ago in Karate Kid, you know, either, you walk this path, right? Or you walk this path, but you try to walk in between, you get squished in the middle of the road. So you choose a path and you stick to it. The whole sensitive man was a shit that came out of the '90s when R&B and in the black community in general, they were trying to get men to be simps because it benefits mediocre women for guys to be simps, so they can have more mating choices as they age out of is after they age out of the dating pool. They can rely on these simps to take care of them. And we have all these little stepdaddies in the '70s, '80s, and '90s. We don't have that many stepdaddies anymore because most guys have realized that's a fucking canard, that they're getting the raw end of the deal with that. Um, you need masculine men to keep society thriving. Sensitive men are only possible when a society has become very safe. But here's the thing: even if a society has become very safe, that won't last. And in older societies where men had gotten soft, that was usually the downfall of that society, like the fall of Rome, the fall of Athens. So, Dill says Jennifer is right. Enzo Liano says, how old are you? I'm in my 40s. I don't feel like giving my exact age right now. I'm just tired. I do. Smile with us says hello from Morocco. What's up? My mother just came back from Morocco this week. She was in Marrakesh. I tried to get her to get me a kafia, a shamag, and she said they didn't really have them, so she cut her own scarf up and turned it into like into a shamag that she used while she was out there. Like she was riding camels across, across the desert and all sorts of stuff. She was having fun, but I was actually hoping for a shamag, but I'll just get a military shamag because I want one for my bug out bag. Green Tea says Omar, a masculine man, can still have gentle moments. He can protect his home and still be gentle with his wife and children. Exactly. It's not. I think he does misunderstand masculine. Green Tea. He thinks masculine means being unkind. Being masculine doesn't mean you're unkind. It means you can protect and provide, and that you don't let your emotions rule uh, rule over you. And to put it another way, like an old samurai saying goes, was Japanese saying, whatever. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. So Eric says, speaking of all the space stuff, when I was in EMS, I responded to Virgin Galactic's crash Spaceship One. Surprisingly, one of the pilots survived. Really, I never heard of that. When this was, I guess, was when Richard Braxton, whatever his name is, when all those billionaires were racing to get their rockets in the sky, because then you had SpaceX with Elon Musk. You have Jeff Bezos' company, which I can't remember what they call his, and then you have Branson. That's his name, Branson. Richard Branson trying to get his thing going. Then I think even Mark Zuckerberg was considering it. Now that he's the second richest man in the world, I'm pretty sure he probably will start thinking of doing stuff like that. Uh, Mr. Invincible says, "What do you do for a living?" I do lead gen and direct marketing, and I am a part-time martial arts coach. Big Bad Fresno says, "Up in here," says, "I made a live stream about trolls." I've considered doing one about trolls. The problem with I thought about doing a live stream about trolls, Big Bad, is that it might invite the very thing that I don't want. So I'm undecided about it, but I might do it. If I if I do, I might do it once I knew I have all my moderators in tow. I don't have any of my moderators up right now, and it'll be easier to corral that if I actually have my moderators when I do that stream, because it's probably going to invite the very people that I'm making fun of. So, Dale says, so the quote unquote daddy person got kicked. Cool. Uh, I've kicked a few people, but I don't remember what his name was. The people I kicked were just saying, stupid stuff. Like one guy called me Gus Fring twice, and I told him the first time it was a warning. The second time he get kicked out. Unfortunately, we were on a time delay, so he didn't realize that he kept doing it until after the fact. But either way, he shouldn't have been saying it more than once, since it wasn't one, it wasn't funny, and two, I don't even look like the very person he's calling me as. Uh, Green Tea says, "I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you, I appreciate it." Resboy says, "Sad." Dils is very sad. Thank you guys. I'm dealing with it. Like I said, um, soon as I found out, I just immediately just put on my sneakers and went for a run, and then did some martial arts, and then went to the gym for a few hours. I mean, I normally run every day anyway, but that was just my inspiration to just go out without any delay, just shoot out and do it. Uh, George Bush says liberals don't do anything for a living. That is patently false. I mean, everybody works for a living. I mean, unless you're assuming liberals are all like super wealthy. If that put it this way, the reason why that's not a good insult is that if liberals didn't do anything for a living, that would mean that they were patently super wealthy, which means that that would be a good thing to be as a liberal, because apparently every liberal would be super wealthy. So the fact that it's not true um, means is means that it's probably not the best ideology to embrace. But again, if what you were saying was patently true, then most of us should aspire to be a liberal, because that means we will all not have to work for a living. Funny how that works. This is why people should engage with their critical thinking skills. Unfortunately, people set their critical thinking skills aside when it comes to religion and politics, and these are the very places where they should have critical thinking skills, because these two domains are the most are the like places where you can most likely be misled and divorced from either your money, your freedom, or your life. At least in earlier times. Um, Omar says, "How is Magic Johnson still alive? He's been diagnosed with HIV since 1990, because HIV and AIDS aren't the same thing. HIV is the virus which causes AIDS. Not everyone who has HIV develops AIDS. On top of that, from an early time, um, he's taken, prescription drugs to keep his HIV levels low. That, you know, it would have less chance of developing into AIDS. When people die, uh, here's the thing: when people die from AIDS, they don't actually die of AIDS itself either. They die of AIDS related causes because once it develops into AIDS, it attacks the immune system, so that people usually die of really basic things like a cold or a flu because their immune system is so compromised that they can't deal with basic uh, basic pathogens that our healthy immune system can fight off. That's why he's still alive. His HIV didn't develop into AIDS. So, Dill says he had enough money to survive. Yeah, he said, I guess if you say so. Catherine says, hello, Contrarian. What's up, Catherine? Oh, a cat. I was asking, did you want to be a moderator? Eric says, Gustavo Fring is one of the best villain characters in TV history. That character was actually scary because of how seamlessly he could blend into both lifestyles. So yeah, like I said, I never watched Breaking Bad. I saw this. I saw the part where he died on online. I caught that, but I've never watched the whole series more than like one and a half episodes. I would say at best one and a half episodes because someone was trying to get me to watch it and I just wasn't interested. Kat says, "No, you don't look like Morgan." Thank you. I look nothing like Morgan Freeman, like not at all. And I'm not even saying that the dude is like ugly in any sort of way, but we look nothing alike. Eric says Morgan Freeman has been 60 years old for the past 40 years, right? Like I said, when I saw him in his 40s, dude looked old back. No, in his 30s, he looked old. This was back in the 80s. Omar says Morgan Freeman's from Mississippi. Is he? I know he's from the deep south, but I don't remember which state. Uh, Dale says greetings from Mississippi. That's one of those places I should visit. When I was younger, I didn't want to be anywhere in the deep south just because I was scared of the racism. But actually, when I ventured in the deep south, I've met some of the friendliest people I've ever met. When I first went to like Myrtle Beach, and I was down there in South Carolina, on for my senior trip back in high school. These folks were so cool. Or when I was in the army and I was down south, again in South Carolina and then in Georgia. I was at Fort Jackson, then I was at Fort Gordon, and the locals, they were all, they were so fucking friendly. So, I think the South gets a really bad rap from liberal elites in the Northeast and on the West Coast. Um, but yeah, I would definitely want to visit some of these deep South places because I'm just thinking they got some fire ass food down south. Like, and like, as fit as I am, I'm a fat boy at heart. Like, I, I'm a fat boy at heart. I'm a big back, just in spirit. Not in appearance, but in spirit, I am a big back, and I can throw down. Like for instance, my family in Charlottesville, Virginia, all of them are big. All of them are big backs. All of them. And they saw me, and I'm like the only small person in the house, right? And they were saying to my father, like, they was like, I don't know, he don't look like he related to us. But then I start eating, and they was like, oh no, he's related to us. He related to because I may not look big, which I wasn't, because I stay in shape, but I could throw down like a fat boy. I mean, matter of fact, I mean, it was to the fact even my frat says my frat brothers was like, yo, they was like, if we have an eating contest, we're nominating you, right? I'm like, that's cool. So I can throw down. Duck Life says he looks nothing like Morgan Freeman. Cut it out. I know, right? Nothing like the dude. Trust me, if I look like any freaking celebrity, I would use that to my advantage. Eric says duendes are another cryptid, especially pygmy people who live in the forest. Huh. I've heard there's there's a similar sort of people in the Philippines as well. But again, Mexico and the Philippines share a lot of cultural similarities that people don't realize. I've always said that like the Philippines is like Mexico in Southeast Asia. Like seriously. I love history says hi. What's up? I love history. Cass is watching you while from the sauna here. Okay, so you balling right now, Cat. You in the sauna chilling. Don't fog up the phone. Someone says hi. Dill says way behind. Asia is long gone. So be it. She'll be back. Navaquelo Shalame mine. uh, I love his. She left when she found out I was married. That's why she left. But anyway, I love history says hi. CL CXLM underscore edit says Israel Palestine. What are the opinions? I'm not getting into that right now. I don't think you have to be either or. I am pro Israel for the most part, but I don't want to see anyone get deleted. Um, Omar says from Canada. Eric says neither Israel or Palestine. Team USA, baby. That's the right attitude. Like at the end of the day, I'm American first, America first, right? Um, but I mean, if you're asking me between one of the two, um, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna choose Israel in this particular circumstances, but I'm sympathetic to the people of both places. Not so much their governments, but the people themselves. Uh, I love his, I love history says from Kansas. Okay. Dill says the history lover. Hi there. Kazams gives me a is waving. CXLM says Eric. Do you not realize that this conflict will heavily affect the U.S. too? Yeah, but we're not trying to talk about just politics, man. Like I said before, when people kept talking about Trump and Biden, even after the election was over, I'm like, guys, give it a rest. Like some of you have no lives beyond politics, and it makes me think that you have undiagnosed issues when you can only discuss politics, even when those things have already been settled. Dill says, "Are there any content creators here?" Yeah, if they are, guys, drop your. If any of you are content creators, drop your ads on here. I love how she says, "I'm from Kansas." What part of Kansas? Omar says, "I wish I could speak the way you do." What's preventing you? I don't. I mean, I don't know. You said you're from Canada, so what prevents you from speaking the way I do? Eric says, "I don't care." Edits USA. I have to largely agree with that. Dill says, "I love to see what you got. Only mods have that power." In in reference to what? Even with even as a moderator, like they don't really, because I'm a moderator in my friend Moonlit Ferns page. I don't recall having any powers to do anything. You have to be set up as a managing moderator to have like some abilities to oversee stuff on the channel itself. Because my wife is my managing moderator here on this channel, but she's often busy, so she's not always in in my chat room. Eric says, "Woo." Omar says, "I was in the first movie, but I got cut out." What movie? You were in a movie? I love history says, "Boo Russia." I'm not gonna boo Russia. Um, I, yeah, I mean, you never know who's checking out your live streams, and I have nothing against Russian folks. and the women are beautiful. Um, and I've met a few Russian folks. I work with one. He's cool as shit. He's currently living in Israel now. Um, so Eric says, "Do I stream, but not on this channel?" Uh, Saeed Saddam says, "Love you, bro. Appreciate it." Eric says, "Yeah, boo Russia, boo Canada too." Damn, not Canada too. Damn. I love her. She says, "Not Canada." Dill says, "I'm out. He's so far behind, and the subject matter was there's no chance to catch up." Okay. One guy, I can't read the script, says, "Bonjour, salut, ça va?" Love history says, "Only Israel and Russia." Only places I'm born are the places that put their people in abject misery, like North Korea. Boo, North Korea. Um, you know, who else would I boo? Definitely North Korea. They definitely get a boo. Um, I'll think of something later because I really don't want to single out an entire country for something that a few people do within the country. Omar says Canada is the gangster. I don't know what sort of gangster Canada would be. They're more like the Robin to the U.S.'s Batman to me. But Nate Swifty says favorite music artist. Uh, it depends on what it depends on what music category. For hip hop, Biggie. Um, but I also love classical music. For classical music, I'm gonna say Mozart. Um, R&B, um, R&B. Hmm. Fuck it, R. Kelly. I don't care. Let's go. I don't care. Pop, Michael Jackson. Like, uh, hmm. Rock or classic rock. I gotta think about it. Heavy metal. I gotta think about it. Grunge, like Nirvana. So no R&B. Okay. So well, I said R. Kelly, but I don't know where she fits in. Maybe this is more soul music, but Sade. For if I guess I guess Sade would fit under like soul music. Maybe Sade. Eric says the glider thing looked big enough that someone could be in it. It looked about the same size of a Cessna. Oh, okay. He's not blaming Canada for everything. Canada stole my moose. You have moose? By the way, is do people eat moose, or is it just like too gamey? Omar says Canada has ghost meat and bear heads and scallop potatoes. I don't know what ghost meat and bear heads are. Bear heads? Do you mean like literally bear heads? I don't have a clue what ghost meat is. Eric says Contrarian is always about 5 minutes behind, guys. On the chat, he will get to your comment eventually. Blue Green says you again, bro. You're in my stream, so how are you saying I again? You're a special type of retarded, aren't you? But we can clear that one up for you. How about that? Eric says Canada has bagged milk, and I cannot forgive them for that. Well, like, okay, so when I'm in Asia, though, like, a lot of them they don't serve like milk the way we serve it here because for most, I mean, for one thing, a lot of East Asians are lactose intolerant, so they don't drink that much milk. Most of the milk they do drink is like soy milk or whatever. But when it comes to dairy music, sorry, dairy milk, dairy milk, a lot of it's put in one of those those um those little boxes like you would put like soy or rice milk in. But, but what I do is once I take it home, then I refrigerate it so it's fine. But I think they mostly sell like dairy milk in a more condensed form. So I'm guessing maybe that's what Canada does if it's bagged. But yeah, they definitely, but they yeah they tend to sell the dairy milk in Asia in a condensed form, since a lot of people don't drink it regularly as a as just like a drink. But I do when I'm there. Omer says, "What does the light cups actually do for you? Seriously, the light cups." Uh, Eric says, "I need to get some glasses." Zachar says, "Evening. What's up, Zachar?" He says, "Do you believe in true change, or does everyone mask it?" True change in what? You kind of got to be more specific. What do you mean by true change? Omar says, "No, I meant to say, what does the thumbs up do for you?" It it calculates how many people are responding to the stream. Like I said, the more thumbs up people get, the more people watch, the more the algorithm will in kind will put out a person's channel and live streams to YouTube for even more people to see it, and it grows in that way. So that's why a thumbs up is good. It shows that people are actually watching and liking the content that you make, which which in turn means YouTube is more willing to invest in your channel, which means they'll invest in placing ads and in putting your channel through the algorithm so that more random people can find it. And the ads are important because when I, you know, you don't see ads on this because it's a live stream, but when I upload this broadcast for replay, I get ads played on it. And the last several streams I've had, I've got a lot of ads placed during the broadcast, which means that YouTube has faith in this reaching people, that they feel safe putting ad revenue on my in my content. So the more likes I get, the more people who watch, the more people who respond in the chat room, the more people who leave comments after the video is uploaded, uh, gives YouTube feeds the YouTube algorithm that they will continue sharing this sharing the channel throughout its platform, and also placing ads in my content. So which means I get paid. Money, 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 money. So actually, I'm waiting on the YouTube check right now. Actually, Andre Brown says, "Give me back my son." How about you get back your sanity first? Teeth Freak Philosophy says, "Does anyone in the chat have any thoughts on Andrew Jackson? I'm writing a book about him and would love to hear how Americans remember him today, if at all. Are you American yourself?" As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Jackson was the worst president to have ever lived. I don't know why they think Trump was the worst one. Andrew Jackson was a slave owning, slave buying, Indian killing, just he was just a terrible person, and he was an even worse president. Eric says Andrew Jackson was my favorite Jedi. His purple lightsaber was amazing. T says bro would have been a Sith Lord. Indeed, clearly. Uh, Montagen says Brazil City, Fortaleza. This was up from Brazil. Eric says he was on the Jedi Council, nearly soloed Darth Sidious. He's talking about Andrew Jackson, not Samuel Jackson. But I know you know that. Omar says, "How would you describe yourself? What kind of man are you?" That's very vague. I can't answer vague questions. You have to phrase. You gotta make something more. You gotta narrow the scope of the question for me to be able to answer it in an intelligible way. User 007 says, "Are you the guy from Breaking Bad?" And you earned yourself a timeout. Eric says Spaceship One crashed around 2017, if I remember right. I have a video on my phone when they took off from from the Mojave Airport. Okay, yeah. Since that was 7 years ago, I really don't remember anything going on. At the time, 2017, I was like invested in my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and then we got married in the summer of 2017, and that was my first time in the Philippines as well, and Thailand, and Japan. So I was just having fun. I wasn't really recalling what was going on politically at the time, other than Trump had just won the election, and you know in November 2016 and took office in 2017, and surprisingly things were going swimmingly well to the chagrin of everyone who predicted the falling of the skies, sort of like they're doing now, and we see anything we don't see anything remotely like that happening. Much to the contrary. T Freak says Andrew Jackson was repulsed by the lack of Jacksonian democracy in the Empire's Republic and dual Darth Sidious. All right. All right. Ray just earned himself a ban from the channel for being a retard. 100W says I need some reefer. Well, you get a timeout. It must be. I can tell it's getting late because it's getting more retarded. Oh yeah, it's past 12. Like I said, guys, as soon as it hits past midnight, all the retarded gremlins start coming in here. Jake's wife says, "Hey, what's up, Jake's wife?" Omar says, "What is the most important thing to you in this life?" I, again, that's such an open-ended question. I don't know. I have many things that's important to me. I can't think of one important thing. The pursuit of reason is important to me. Being with my wife is being with my wife and making her happy is important to me. Pursuing my martial arts is important to me. Running every day is important to me. Iced coffee is important to me. Collecting all my vintage toys and comic books is important to me. Like, you gotta streamline what you mean because it's just too vague of a question. Eric says I accept that as the definitive lore now. T freak. Dingus can go. Happy Boy says I am Indian. Ephraim. What? Tutson says do a flip. Why don't you flip these nuts in your mouth and let your tongue wrap around my dick? Anyway, Kat says happy to be a mod for you. All right, great. Thank you, Kat. So Catherine G, guys, is my new mod. So be aware. Be nice. Cat Beware says, how many hot dogs could you eat in under a minute? I don't know, the same amount your mother does when I put this glizzy in her mouth, and then all my friends, go through next in line. We rotate her. She can take quite a bit of glizzies, 9 inches, 9 by 3. Then she likes to swirl them all around in her mouth at once. Anyway, Omar, Omar says Mississippi has the best fried chicken you ever had. I can believe it. Like I said, look, if if you want some really good but probably unhealthy food, Deep South is the place to go. Again, I can get away with eating like eating poorly because I run, somewhere between 11 to 13 kilometers every day. I can get away with it. On top of that, then I do martial arts, and I hit the gym like 2 3 times a week. So I can get away with that. But I wouldn't recommend people to eat like that who are like in their 30s and 40s and aren't physically active, because they're probably going to cause themselves some health problems. But I would love to go down south and just go on like a, that would be perfect for like on my channel too. Like just go to different mom and pop diners and places like that, just eating the food, checking it out. That would be kind of awesome. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure Mississippi has some dope food. I know Texas. I know I gotta go to Texas for like their chili and their barbecue, Angus beef. You know, and like I said, despite all the stereotypes that we have here in the Northeast about the Deep South, when I've been down there, they were the friendliest people I've ever met, white and black. So White West is great. Old how about this dick in your mouth shut up, Wyatt, faggot. Stupid Gen Z retard. Can't stand them. Catherine says out of sauna now, cooling down. Uh oh. Raven places, hey, bro, you sound like you pay taxes. And that's a bad thing because I'm a normal citizen who pays taxes. Some of you are some fucking losers. Jesus Christ. Omar says, do you ever still go to bookstores? Absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, there aren't that many like actual bookstores around besides Barnes and Noble. So I go to Barnes and Noble. I did find a good mom and pop bookstore in Towson, Maryland, and it was just a random. I don't even remember why I was near. I don't know how I even got to the bookstore because it wasn't something I looked up. I was either on my way to somewhere else or I was about to catch the bus or something. But I came across this mom and pop bookstore, and I went in, and I was like, well, shit. If I'm in if the only way to keep these stores afloat is to patronize them. So I bought like three books from them at the time, right? I bought Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, the first one. I bought this daily planner. Um, it had like Batman on it, and I bought another book. I can't remember the other one, but yeah, that's the last time I've been to a mom and pop bookstore. I think and that was like several years ago. Then I've also been to bookstores overseas as well. Like the Philippines has their own something close to like Barnes and Noble. It's called the National Bookstore. They even have a book convention every year, and I always miss it because I'm not there when they have the convention. But yeah, I definitely go to bookstores. I'm a bibliophile, which means lover of books. So don't try to make that into something that it isn't. Last thought wanted. All right, no. I hate these Gen Z month. Anyway, uh, I love history says I'm from Osage City, Kansas, a small town. Okay, that's what's up. Kansas sound like that should be a place to visit as well as Oklahoma, because I want to see some native. Well, I want to go to Oklahoma to go to the reservations, and it seemed like it would be easier to get to Oklahoma than it would be to go all the way out to say like North Dakota and South Dakota and Montana, where they also have reservations. Uh, Red Scorpion 75 says command of the English language is a lost art. That might be true. Igor says wish Don Cheadle negative. Timeout for you. Kat says, "Yep, I'm Moonlit Ferns managing moderator." Okay, that's what's up. Well, you two are close anyway, so that makes sense. Like, like you guys aren't just like, like, uh, um, like, what do you call it? Just fly by night friends. Like you guys knowing each other for a long time. So yeah, it makes sense. I'm surprised he didn't make Ellie his managing moderator, like the way I did with my wife. But they might have a different situation. So chicken dipper says, "Would you like more watermelon or chicken?" So I know that's supposed to be racist, but I'm gonna say chicken. But watermelon is great too, but as a fruit, not as a meal. Chicken I can eat as a meal or as a snack, where more watermelon is mostly as a fruit snack. Um, I know that's supposed to be racist, but here's the thing, chicken dipper. You're probably some little dumb fucking hick from somewhere here in America who's never been anywhere. Because if you did, you would know that watermelon and chicken aren't seen as race coded food anywhere else outside of this country. But you wouldn't know that because you probably don't do anything that can get you out of the country. You probably don't even have a fucking passport. I do, and I've been to many places. Here's the thing: people love watermelon all across the world where they have access to it. They love chicken all across the world too because it's one of the most easily accessible animals for protein and sustenance. Kentucky Fried Chicken is used as part of the Christmas holiday in Japan. And on top of that, fried chicken originally came from Scotland. You dumb bitch. um, Spiro says, "How are you tonight?" I'm all right, Spiro. Drill Lyric says, "Blessings from the UK." What's up, Drill? Red Scorpion says, "Iraq is kind of a shithole." True, but I wish I still went when I was in the army, but I was found medically unfit because of my PKU diet, so I had to stay stateside. But I was supposed to leave with my unit um, because it. The reason I wanted, the reason I want to go now, but I didn't want to go back then, of course. But I want to go now because it is the birthplace of civilization. Like that's where ancient Sumeria and the other Mesopotamian civilizations arose. So I wish I went just for that. But yeah, I kind of not. It's probably not a great place to be, honestly, right now. Maybe more, well, maybe less so now than it was back then, where it was definitely a hellscape in the midst of the war. Jesse says, "Were you resentful, selfish, or afraid today?" No, I was dealing with other things, so I'm not going to go into how I felt today when I've already addressed some particular issues that came up with me today. So I'm not going to answer like a bunch of dumb, well, I won't say that, but no. Catherine says, "Yay for Australia." Eric says, "Bill Withers and Joe are my favorites. I really like the Temptations, but the 90s version. The 90s version. Uh, I like the original Temptations. I don't know about the new people who's in the group now. It was only one surviving person from the group, Otis, and I think he's passed away now too. Well, I don't know. Otis might still be alive, but he's like literally the only Temptation alive. By the time that they made the movie about the group back in the 90s, he Otis and Blue were like the last two surviving Temptations, and I think Otis passed away recently as well. So everyone now in the current group are like people who came on later. Uh, Omar says, "Would somebody please stop saying I like rap and hip hop? That's both the same thing." Actually, no, it's not. Rap is the music. Hip hop is the culture. When people say hip hop music, they are sometimes referring to rap and to R&B hip hop music, but to say rap and hip hop are the same is not true because there are some people who call themselves rappers who don't know shit about hip hop, and there are some hip hop musicians who are not rappers. So they're not the same thing. Moonlit is up. What's up, Moonlit? What's up, brother? Khan too says hi. What's up, Khan? Harley says I'm with you about Kelly's. Right, like Harley, like I'm not gonna stop listening to the man until they stop listening. Uh, until they stop listening to people like Elvis. They stop listening to a bunch of other rockers who I can name names. But until they stop listening, until Elvis stops being the king of rock, then R. Kelly is still gonna be the king of R&B. I don't care. Plus, how it would be impossible to stop listening to him because if you listen to music, and I'm not just talking about R&B music, if you listen to music period from the 90s to the 2010s, I'm pretty sure you heard something that was produced by R. Kelly. Like it would be impossible. Like he's produced people who are in rock, pop, R&B, and rap. Like so, and I'm not about to cancel someone like Janet Jackson because of something R. Kelly did. Right? So I'm not stop listening to R. Kelly. I don't listen to musicians because they're my role models. If that would if I only listened to entertainers who I could consider role models, it wouldn't be very many entertainers I follow because most of them live quite questionable lives just because of the type of access they have as a celebrity and someone who's and people who are multimillionaires. Concepts was the topic here. Today is my ask me anything topic today, Con. Usually there's a specific topic, but I was too tired to do a specific topic today, and I was feeling kind of blue because of someone I lost today. So I just decided to do ask me anything. Teeth says y'all like Andrew Jackson. Yeah, they Teeth. To be honest, a lot of people don't know. I'm just gonna be perfectly frank. Not a lot of people don't know who you're referring to when you talk about Andrew Jackson. If you want people to answer, you probably have to tell them that he's a president and the time when he was president. Then people might remember something from American history. But half these people in the group aren't even American, and the ones who are probably didn't pay attention in their American history class to remember who Andrew Jackson was. So you probably have to be more specific. I know who he is because I'm a nerd, but most people don't know who Andrew Jackson is. Result, um, Rizal says, "Where are you from, bro?" I'm in the United States, in Maryland. Red Scorpion says, "Yes, moose is edible, similar to buffalo meat." Oh, it is. I love buffalo. Bison. Well, American bison is delicious. Is I mean, it's just like beef, but it tastes is I don't know. It's more. It might be more tender than beef. I'm not sure. It Bison is great. Buffalo, bison or American buffalo is so good. So if moose tastes like buffalo, then I'll try it. I was scared that moose tastes like venison, and I don't like venison. Venison is way too gamey to me. I don't, and it's tough. I don't like venison. But if it tastes like buffalo, I'm with it. Mark Monday says hi. What's up, Mark? Angstrom says hello. What's up, Angstrom? Michael Madrigal says, "What does quote unquote okay I will for sure mean?" Coming from an ex boss, random question after saying I'll work for him again. I'm not sure, man. I don't know and what. I, yeah, I mean, you gave the context that's coming from an ex boss, and you said it was after saying I'll work for him again. I don't know. This is where conversational implicature comes in. So I'm gonna put on my little linguistics nerd cap for a second, okay? So people are saying, what the hell is conversational implicature means? Conversational implicature is pragmatics. Like you have most people are familiar with semantics when it comes to linguistics and philosophy of language. Not everyone is familiar with pragmatics. Conversational implicature is different from a semantic implication. The semantic implication, if I say, uh, it's going to snow, I want to build a snowman, you'll think, oh, he wants to build a snowman. But if I was doing conversational implicature and I was Deadpool and I say, hey, I want to build a snowman, I mean, I want to, so conversational implicature. Conversational implicature is often used in a place where people don't feel they can be forthright in what they're saying to people. So, like, for instance, it's often unprofessional or even illegal in some places to give someone a bad recommendation, right? So, a former boss um, can't give a bad recommendation to the new person considering hiring you, because they'll call up a form your former employer and ask what sort of employee were you, and then that former boss of yours says, well, he showed up on time every day. So the, the implication is just, oh well, he had good attendance, but that's not what the person means. What they're saying is, since they can't say anything bad about you legally, or they can be held legally responsible, when they say, well, he showed up on time every day, it's basically they're saying that you weren't a good employee, like you really didn't do anything other than show up for work. That's the implicature, but they can't say that outright. They can't say anything negative about you because it would they'd be held legally liable if they said something negative about you in a employee recommendation. So the form conversational implicature is, well, he wasn't a very good employee. So you have to look at it from that context. Like, since I don't know much about your situation, you'll have to look into it whether this person was politely shooing you off. Like, okay, I will for sure. As in, like, I don't really like. I'm just gonna tell you anything so you can leave me alone. that that could be what he means if that's the implicature. However, it could just mean directly what it means. Like, okay, uh, he'll let you work for him again. I don't know. You got to look at the context. This is what so having a good having good social skills does allow you to kind of hone in on nonverbal communication like that. Jessica says hello, sir. What's up, Jessica? How are you? Omar says the actual area of Canada is much bigger than the United States, but the population is only about 30 million people. No, it's not. You can Google you can Google the I mean, first of all, what are we comparing? Are you just comparing Canada to the continental US? Because if you're comparing Canada to the continental US, then you might be right, but you still have to include Alaska. Alaska Alaska is about 2/3 the size of the continental United States alone. So you have to count that. And then if we want to be even more pedantic, we can count all the US territories as well. Guam, the US Virgin Islands, American Samoa, uh, the the uh, the US minor islands, and all the other territory. Trust me, the United States has much more landmass um, than Canada does. If not the continental U.S. alone, then with Alaska, it definitely does. Alaska is the size of like Alaska is larger than Texas. Like, yeah, trust me, the United States is larger than Canada. Keith Duke says, "Hello, sir. I like sweets. P.S. How do you calm a llama down?" Anyway, Jessica says, "Better to block trolls." No, I do. I definitely block them, Jessica. But first, I get in my little snipe at them because I want to let them know that if you come with the shits and giggles to a Gen X person, then we're gonna snap on you. We're gonna roast you, and then I block them while they're feeling stupid because they basically didn't do anything. Moonlit says top five dream exotic pets you would love to own. Exotic pets. I don't really want any exotic pets because that means you gotta really like. I don't because I don't want to take care of animals. Like if I have to take care of it, I don't want them. But exotic pets. Um, um, all right. A Pika. Yes, they yeah. So Pikachu is based on a real animal, Pikas. So definitely a Pika. But I've heard they're not good for pets. So Pika. Uh, uh, what's that Australian animal that always smiles? The um, not koalas. What you call those things? Shoot. If any, if anyone can remember, it's an animal that has cube square poop, and they all a quokka. That's it, quokka. My wife always jokes. She was like, my husband got a quokka for for a girl for a wife because the way she smiles. So a pika, which is sort of like this rodent animal that looks sort of like a cross between a mouse and a rabbit. So a pika, a quokka. Um, what else? Um, a horse. Oh yeah, like a horse, like a Mustang, not the car, the actual horse, a Mustang. Um, and that's like all assuming I wouldn't have to take care of these things. um, what else? Um, hmm, exotic. Because I'm thinking of something exotic. Um, those three are exotic so far. I think the quokka, the pika, the Mustang. Um, something else. Um, something I wanted when I was younger. I don't know, a pygmy elephant. And a monkey. like a I don't know, like a rhesus macaque monkey. Keith Duke says llamas. Cat says, "Hey Moonlit." Jessica says, "Are you from the states?" Yep, I'm from Maryland. I'm in Maryland now. Omar says, "Okay, I sent you 10 thumbs up, and I sent you the song Money, 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 Money." Moonlit says, "Andrew Jackson, come on, was a demon." I know, but when he had, that's what I was saying. Not a lot of people answered him only because I was like, look, bro, I said not a lot of people know who Andrew Jackson is. Most people don't know American history, including Americans. So I was like, he should have prefaced it by saying the American president Andrew Jackson. Then people might have been able to more hone in to it. But yeah, dude. Andrew Jackson was definitely on some demon time. For real, for real. I consider him the worst American president ever. Jessica Andrews says, "Why are you attracting trolls?" I don't attract them. After midnight, people just trolls just come into live streams randomly. Jessica, I am not attracting them. Trust me. I'd rather have you here. Mona says trolls. I don't play games. Yep. Jessica says, "Hope Trump can do well for us this time." I think he did good for us the first time. Honestly, I mean, the only thing that derailed his presidency the first time around was the COVID pandemic. People forget up until January 2020, things were going well economically. Um, to uh, I can't say domestically because that's when all the BLM things was going on. BLM standing for big large mansions, but um, and this is coming from someone who used to support BLM too. I found out they were frauds. But yeah, man, he had a pretty good presidency up until the pandemic started, but that was out of his hands. And I think he helped people blame him for like the spread of it when he handled it pretty well. People forget that he put the nation on like a 2 week lockdown, which extended to like a month and then on to 2 months. I remember because remember when they said, okay, guys, everyone got to do their part and stay inside for these 2 weeks or a month or whatever. First it was 2 weeks, then it was a month. It ended up being 2 months, whatever. But for that 2 weeks to month, like all the, do you remember the streaming platforms were giving people free memberships? Shit, even the porn sites were giving free membership, and I did indulge. I'm not gonna lie, your boy does not front. Okay, but yeah. So anyway, Mama Trace must said swimmingly interesting. Eric says trolls always pop up in streams. Yeah, I really can't do anything about them other than kick them out or time them out. Jessica, I don't attract them. They are attracted to coming onto live streams after midnight. A lot of people who are mentally ill stay up all night, and a lot of people who love the anonymity of darkness and being behind a digital screen come out at night as well. It brings out the 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 impression of anonymity both behind a behind a behind a digital screen and the anonymity of being in the darkness literally at night brings out a lot of weirdos. And again, it brings a lot of people who are mentally ill are up at this time of night with nothing else better to do than display their problems, their detachment with reality online. That's why there's so many people who are have issues online because there's a place where they can just spew forth all their problems instead of them go getting professional help. Moonlit says everyone hit like, subscribe, and share as well as super chat bottom right of your screen. Jaden says guess who's back. I don't. He's second playing. Um, Moonlit says and they get dealt with accordingly. Word. Jessica says mostly Republican trolls are irritating. Every troll I've had, no, I've had liberal and Democrat trolls as well, Jessica. Like I've had people come in, for the whole time of the election. I had people come in just wanting to argue against me when Biden was running, and then when Kamala took his place, trying to convince me why I should list like take their point. And it's like, look, if you're passionate about that candidate or that political party, that's fine, but you're not going to convince me to think in line with you just by being nasty, condescending, or like using dubious information. So, and that just kind of eggs them on because of this phenomena called the belief effect and the backfire effect as well. Momentary smut says, "How is that the response? But the trolls are unmanageable. Ha ha ha." I mean, because there's always more of them than there are content creators. Eric says, "Destroy the trolls." See, if I was on a PC live stream, it would be different because when I ban someone, it's permanent from their ISP. So when I ban someone on a PC live stream as opposed to this vertical live stream, vertical live streams are informal. The PC live stream has more structure and more tools. And in a PC live stream, if I ban someone, it'll be permanent because I banned them from the ISP. Whereas on here, it just bans their username, and then these idiots can just change, get a new username, and come back on. Uh, Momentary says they're just lonely weirdos looking for people that have to be relatable in your own little worlds. Sober cucks. Mola says y'all ask respectful questions or go kick rocks. Word. Jessica says be physically active in your mid 30s. Hey, I'm in my late 40s and I'm still physically active, Jessica. Like, you can check out my other content, but like I said, I run 11 to 13 kilometers every day. I, I do my martial arts. Like, if I'm not going to a actual martial arts gym or sparring with a friend, I'll just do some shadow boxing or working with my Filipino sticks, screamer sticks. And then I'll hit the gym 2 or 3 times a week as well. But I run every day, mandatory. Like long runs, so not just little sprints or whatever. I do a long run every day. Mrs. Reels and Jason Reels Network says I'm from Atlanta. What's up? Um, from ATL. Omar says yes, you have to go down south. I mean, I've been down south. I'm saying I want to go back down there to maybe like check out some food and go to like mom and pop diners and cafes, stuff like that. And of course, catch a few historical sites or whatever. Like if I go to Texas, I gotta definitely gotta go to the Alamo, right? Moonlit says if you want to troll, at least be funny. That's what I said, Moonlit. That remember I've said that a long time ago. I said, look, if you want to troll, at least be funny. The problem is most trolls aren't even funny. They're just pathetic losers whose sense of humor is just saying something gay. And that's like that's not funny. Like if you're gonna say something that questions someone's sexuality, you gotta put it in a context that makes it funny. Simply saying "ha ha, you're gay." That's like, all right, what are you 2 years? Like, what are you 12 years old? Mullen says super chat is the bottom right of your screen chat. Buy him a coffee. Yes, guys, and when I have this link up, and for the replay, you can see all in my description all the links to like ways you can support me. You can support me through Cash App, Venmo, or you can just buy me a coffee. I drink coffee every day. Like I have, I think 4 cups today. I had one just before I went to the gym, and I'm still tired. Jaden says, just so you know, I'm a friend of one of the mods. That's what's up. No, I know. I remember you being here before. I remember your username. Melissa says, okay, Jaden. Wolvie17 says, if they can read, they can breed. I'm not sure about that one, buddy, because most of us can learn to read by the time we're like 4, 5, and 6. So I don't know about that one. That no, I can't stand by that one. At BPSC Trey Lovers says love from India. Where are you from? I'm from the United States, guys. For folks chiming in from other countries, I don't know if it comes across to you guys that I'm speaking with what you call SAE or Standard American English, but I think it should be obvious. Like no one overseas, well, no one who's not from America is going to speak the way that I speak. Like if I'm from a European nation, an African nation, a Latin country, a Middle Eastern country, East Asian country, or Central Asian country, I'm not going to talk with an American accent unless I was someone who was originally in America, then went over there afterwards. um, Omar says that really cool bookstore when I lived in Chicago. You could walk up the stairs It was very narrow, and you have to be careful. But they had all these books on the very narrow place. Yeah, a lot of these mom and pop stores have a very uh, can can have a very eclectic look to them, which kind of just makes you appreciate it all the more. Red Scorpion says, I've been collecting comics since the early 80s. The jewel of my collection is my complete Pit run. I love that title. I collect as a reader. Pit? Who? Is Pit the name of the comic or is Pit the name of the artist? I'm not familiar with that. Aqua Blue says, exactly. Earl the Squirrel says, dog chicken sandwich. Dog chicken sandwich? What is that? Cat says, laughing my ass off. Great use of language, contrarian. Thanks. Eric says, Pit is a good series. I, I wish Dale Cone would continue it. I've not heard of Pit. Sounds like that sounds more like a indie. That sounds like an indie comic. He said oiled up too. Okay, that sounds sus. So Monica M says hello. What's up, Monica? See you back. Eric says I have the first 10 issues of Pit and two signed ash cans. Yeah, guys, I've never heard of this comic. Moonlit says it's an ask me anything stream, not random statement stream. Feel free to talk, but just stay on this topic and be respectful. Thank you, appreciate it. Aqua Blue says school. And by the way, welcome to everyone who's normally on Moonlit Ferns streams coming over here. Guys, I appreciate you coming over here to my side of Gotham. Hope you enjoyed here. Like I said, this is Ask Me Anything topic, so you guys can ask me anything respectful and rational, right? But usually on given days, I'll have specific topics. So I've been talking about paranormal stuff for the past week, and I'm going to continue that tomorrow. But Thursday, if I do stream Thursday, because I might be too full, but if I do, it's going to be, of course, about Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and then we'll go back to the paranormal stuff uh, after Thursday. Probably on Saturday, because Friday we're going to talk about the holiday stuff as well. Alka Blue says R. Kelly is the king of R&B. Absolutely, just without question. And like I said, he was such a mega producer that even if you never listened to his own music, I'm pretty sure you listened to something he produced. If you listen to music anywhere from the 90s to 2010s, you've heard something he's produced or written. And it doesn't matter and it doesn't matter whether it's a white pop artist, an R&B artist, a rapper. He's produced and written for all of them. Colette says touch grass. Well, being that I was outside earlier, in my backyard doing martial arts, I definitely touched grass. Did you touch grass? That is the question. Eric says, I purposefully try not to look into celebrities' lifestyles because I can get judgmental and not like their art anymore. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't judge celebrities by their personal lives because if that were the case, I probably wouldn't like most of them. Most of them live pretty, not all of them, but many of them live pretty sketchy lives because of their access to, because of the access they have to things that most people don't. Aqua Blue says seventh president. Eric says, have you ever seen a video of water buffalo and water? It was terrifying how they move. I think probably in like some old nature shows back in like the 80s, 90s, but nothing that I can recall of in the past few decades, to be honest. Um, wait. No, there are water buffalo in the Philippines that I've seen. Um, they're called damn, not corral cook. I can't remember the name, but Yeah, I've seen water buffalo in the Philippines, but they all seem like kind of sluggish. They didn't seem like aggressive. Melissa says, Eric, you can love the art of music and not care about the artist. Facts. Gamebread says, up, Gustavo Fring, no work today. All right, you earned yourself a timeout. Melissa says, and water buffalo in Thailand are very gentle, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the ones in the Philippines, from what I remember, don't seem aggressive. Eric says, I know Moonlit it is just difficult for me when I know the details of their lives, so I just stay away from it. And here's the thing: back in the day, most people didn't know celebrities' personal lives, which was a good thing too. I think celebrities give way too much access to their lives today. Like if I've said this a number of times. Like if I was a celebrity, I would not ever talk on political matters, and I would never be on like social media. I would just let my PR team handle my social media. I would never actually like reach out to people on social media as a celebrity. I would keep a sort of professional detachment from regular people. Not to say I'm a better or above them, but um, I don't think it improves their celebrity status by having more contact with people, especially because things are so people are so divisive and hyper political. I just don't think it. Did, that's why you notice the most successful celebrities right now have been the ones that have kept away from politics these past 2 years. People who've just been talking about their art and reaching out to fans as far as their craft. That's about it. Or through like some of the philanthropy that they do, stuff like that. Other than that, I would keep a detachment from my fan base, and I wouldn't address politics. That sort of detachment that celebrities used to have in Hollywood, back 50 years ago, I think worked in their favor. I don't. I think they've lost a lot of their uh, star appeal in the past 30 years by being so accessible to their audience. Kat says that they are moonlit. Moonlit versus can confirm. He says enjoy the beach. Show contrarian the videos. The beach look cool. Uh-oh. Y'all gonna make me jealous with some cool beach pics. Just the dude says, what is this chat? This chat is Ask Me Anything Tuesdays, where you can ask me any sort of question as long as it's appropriate and it's a rational question. uh, Kat says, we'll send him the pics when I get home from dad's place. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just a dude says, Capybara. I have a Mustang. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, just to do a capybara. I think I'm mispronouncing that. I seen a few of them chilling at a zoo earlier today on my Instagram. Do I want them though? I don't know, but yeah, I'm satisfied with my five from that earlier question of what five exotic pets I would want. Like I said, a pika. I definitely want a pika. Without question, I want a pika, a quokka. Okay, a Mustang, uh, a rhesus macaque, and what was the other thing? I forgot. Um, uh, shoot, I forgot the other one. Does anyone remember? I said Pika, a Quokka, rhesus macaque, a Mustang, and I don't remember the other thing. But if I can't remember the other thing, I'll replace it with an American Eagle. uh, just due to I have a Mustang, they are so much work. Yeah, I would only want to keep exotic pets if I never had to actually take care of them. Like someone else could be their caretakers. I would just come out and visit them. Darren Francis, any advice for the younger generation OG? Um, sure. Can you kind of narrow down what you're asking me though? Like what in advice in reference to what are you talking about? advice in reference to dating, advice in reference to education, career, being happy. Like if you can narrow it down a little bit, I can help you with that. But that question is just too open ended. Jaden says long time no see contrarian. I know it's been a minute. Kat says that is my way to quacka. Mola says Darren get into computer science if possible. I say I don't know if he's talking about educational advice or whatever. I would say one, stay stay fit, exercise, especially as a guy. Physical fitness is not makes you more attractive, makes you more healthy, and it makes you more mentally fit as well. I would say that. Um, don't don't waste your youth chasing booty. Build your bread, build your brand, and they'll come after you. Um, get some sort of higher education or uh, technical training so that you can make money, stay out of legal trouble. But like I said, these are just very general things. If you want like a specific advice, you got to narrow the question down a bit. Illustrated Expert says, "Hello, sir." He said, "Where are you from?" "I'm watching you from Pakistan. I'm in the United States." Agatha, hey, she says, "Hey, sir, just joined in. I'm at JFK Airport on my way to Florida." Oh yeah, I remember you were going down there. Bring me back something, please. Bring me back a Cuban sandwich, but without cheese. I don't like cheese. I know people be like, "You don't like cheese?" No, I don't like cheese. You bring me back a Miami Cubano sandwich, no cheese. Or a Walt Disney T-shirt. So I'm joking. Tommy says, "Are you doing okay mentally and physically?" Yeah. Again, I'm physically fit, which makes me more likely to be mentally fit. For men, being mentally fit tends to run in t- tends to run congruent to being physically fit. Not also with women, but not as much so. I think the congruency between mental fitness and physical fitness is much more apropos in guys because we are more visceral. We would we're just more visceral beings. Women are more tied into their emotions and stuff like that. That's cool. But for guys, like staying physically fit tends to ensure your mental fitness as well. So I'm doing well both in both ways, despite dealing with a loss in my family today. So or earlier yesterday. Moon says enjoy Florida. I got the JFK airport sucks. I haven't been to JFK yet, so I don't know how if it's bad or not. I, I remember how bad O'Hara was in Chicago. Midway wasn't so bad. I've been both to Midway and O'Hara. O'Hara wasn't. O'Hara's not that great, but I don't remember it sucking. But so the last time I was there was like what, 6 years ago, and um, then before that it was only as a kid, so I didn't have a lot of time there to know whether it sucked or not. Wu Tang Clan is the South says is the South safe or dangerous? Depends on what part of the South. Um, and in what particular reference are you referring to? Like there are some very violent cities in the South. Um, um, but for the most part, it's not that dangerous. Depending on again, it depends on what you're referring to. City life, rural life, particular part of the South. Like the South is a very broad. The South is literally half of the country, so you have to like narrow it down. Moonless says, I don't think he's played any God of War games. Me? You asking, have I? Nah, I've never played them. Why, did someone make a God of War reference? If so, yeah, it completely went over my head. Cass says, I'm having my first coffee for the day by Contrarian of Coffee Peeps. Thank you, because I'll definitely drink it in the morning. Jaden says, I'm going to take a quick break, so if you're reading this, I might be gone for a while. That's cool, man. Like, do what you got to do. We got to take breaks to, you know, get a bite to eat or relieve ourselves or talk with our, talk with, friends or do whatever, Real Scorpion says Pit is the title. It's from Image. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely familiar with Image Comics, but I have never heard of Pit. I'm probably gonna have to look it up now after I get off of here. Especially since so many of you are familiar with it, that makes me think I'm remiss in not knowing what it is. Especially when I go to Comic Cons and stuff. Even though I just missed this one 2 months ago in Baltimore. Krishna Karki says, you are beautiful. How are you always so? Oh, appreciate it. I don't know how. I stay I stay in shape and I have good genes. Big says you kind of look like Eminem. How? How in any way do I look like Eminem, bro? Come on. Cass says, are you for real at Pick? I know, right? People are grasping at straws, Cat. Like they will literally just think of someone and say you look like someone. Like they'll literally just pick anyone and say you look like him, regardless of how I look. Like next, someone will be saying I look like Jet Li or something. Like this is how retarded some people are. He said, "Pick yes, they have similar head shape." You know how many people have similar head shapes? There's like over 8 billion people in the world. You know how many people probably share the same head shape? I would not remotely say that millions of people look alike just because they have the same head shape. That's that that's really that's really grasping at straws there. Wu Tang Clan says, "Have you even seen a movie called Nine? And have you seen the main character Nine?" No, I haven't. And Molin says, "No, he just being a lame." Right. DJ Lou says, "What's up, dude? What's up? I see you back, DJ. Go DJ, go DJ." Molin says, "Hit like button, double tap the screen, or tap the three dots on the top right of your screen." Agatha says, "Thanks, Moonlit. Really, JFK sucks. That's the airport closest to where I live. LaGuardia is in the opposite direction." I've always wondered, like, how do people choose between LaGuardia and JFK? I guess the same, like, here in the Baltimore, Washington region, like, choosing between going to BWI or going to Reagan National in DC or Washington Dulles in North Virginia. Like, people will go to, like, Washington Dulles International Airport, which is, like, right outside of DC, because you typically can get cheaper flights. But the reason a lot of people find cheaper flights at Washington Dulles is because most people don't want to go all the way out to Washington Dulles to fly. They'd rather go somewhere closer like BWI or Reagan National. And BWI is a relatively good airport. Reagan, I haven't been there enough to ascertain how good of an airport it is. I mean, I haven't had problems there, but I do prefer BWI. But the only reason I prefer BWI is because it's 40 minutes away, whereas Reagan National is an hour away, and Washington Dulles is almost an hour and a half away. So, Zadia says, "What's your hottest take?" In reference to what? Like, I have a lot of hot takes on a lot of on a lot of issues. Ask me a particular like, give me a particular domain, and I can give you a hot take. I guarantee you that. DJ Lou says true. Mullen says even just the traffic around JFK airport sucks. Be safe, Agatha. Same with BWI. The traffic sucks around there. But I've never driven into BWI. I always take. I'm either I either have someone drop me off or I take a Uber. I've never driven to the airport. I don't want the headache. Zadie says Cat Williams was right about everything so far. I won't say everything, but he's definitely was spitting some facts on some issues that he said would be addressed. So yeah, Agnes says sorry if I'm not too active in the comments, checking in at the airline counter, then TSA. No, you're fine, Agatha. Moonlin says kinda sorta agrees, Zadius. He said TSA is a nightmare. Have fun, be safe. For all of things with TSA, I've really not have had any issues with them. And trust me, I was afraid having like a Muslim name that I would get targeted by TSA, but I've not had any problems with them. Like, fortunately, uh, Zadia says sorta. He said, I mean, all the call outs make it pretty clear what's going on in Hollywood. Okay. Um, Agnes says like, sharing, comments. Also, everyone, thanks. Thank you, Agatha. Red Scorpion says, what comics do you collect? I'm a huge fan of crossover titles. I found almost every DC Marvel crossover book. The Amalgam books were great. So I've just found out that they just released a new collection of the DC Marvel crossovers. Like, I just saw this several weeks ago. I'm like, oh shit, they finally, because, for a long time, it was out of print, right? Because I guess DC and Marvel couldn't get along, but they decided, I guess, to let this go. So they got new prints of the DC Marvel crossovers, like because they've been out of print for like probably like a decade or so. So they got some new stuff. That's probably gonna be my next comic book buy. That besides some back issue stuff that I still want to buy, but the DC Marvel crossovers I'm definitely getting. As far as what do I collect, I'm a huge Batman, uh, mostly Batman, and usually the older stuff, not the newer stuff. uh, Pretty much all the stuff that's come after the new 52, I'm not really digging that much. But I'm still collecting a lot of the older stuff from the 90s, the 80s, 70s, uh, in the 2000s as well. Um, I've collected, some Marvel, some Spider-Man and Wolverine stuff. Um, I've collected a lot of the DC crossovers, like with the multiple Earths, all the crisis stuff, except for the last two crisis. I think they just I was getting tired of the all the crisis crossovers, but all the first ones, Crisis on Multiple Earths, um, the sequel to that, and Identity Crisis. I haven't got what was it called, Hero Crisis, and all that other stuff. All the recent ones. Um, I've collected like stuff like Turtles, a lot of Walking Dead comics. That's how I got into Image Comics. The IDW stuff with like the Transformers and GI Joe. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. A few indie stuff, some manga like Dragon Ball, One Piece, uh, the Bat manga. So as well as like one of those little hentai mangas that I got while I was in Tokyo. Mullen says, sort of meaning he's doing the right thing, but him claiming he's read over 1,000 books and never did drugs. Can't believe any of it about Cat Williams. I've seen plenty of vids. 8 Ball says, 8 Ball pulls his who'd win an economist working at a hedge fund or a mechanical engineer working at NASA, both time warped into the late 1800s. I have no clue. um, for one, I don't think hedge funds existed in the 1800s. Someone can fact check me on that, but I don't believe hedge funds existed in the 1800s. However, so that would be one flaw to that. Then the other thing is, I don't think I don't think economics was a very good science back in the 1800s, because back then they still believed in the well, classical economic theory still believed in the whole rational agent thing. Behavioral science has come about and proven that people behaving as rational agents is not true. Like, people are anything but rational most of the time. We're dealing with minimal rationality in most folks. So I think behavioral economics is a much better uh, gauge of how people behave when it comes to finances and stuff like that than classical economic theory, which assumes that people will be rational agents and do things in their best interests. So, mechanical engineer, again, well, NASA wouldn't have existed in the 1800s either, since we didn't have any space exploration. We didn't even have air. We didn't even have air exploration. So, up until the Wright brothers. But I guess if we can suspend belief for a second, I'm going to say the mechanical engineer, because I think they're definitely better at what they do than what classical economists do. So, um, Sun Soku says, "Hey, it's me, Goku." Coffee fan says, "Hello, how was your day or night?" Eh, it was okay, not great. Moonlit says, "Damn, an April pool. That was a wild question, right?" Agnes says, "I know Moonlit. I hate it. It has to take off my sneakers, jewelry, laptop, phone. It's crazy." Can I get in? Can I get in on the frisk though, Agatha? What's up? The pat down. You know what I'm saying? Or do you go through the? Or do you take the uh the scanner? Do you go through the scanner instead? Chief Lo says hello. Lyman says, "It's been a while. How you doing?" Doing well. What's going on, Lyman? Sadia says Cat probably did weed, but never hard drugs like cocaine. He is a comedian, so he's definitely well read, very quick on his feet with words. Well, that's one thing I do like about comedians. They tend to be a little bit more intelligent than other entertainers, because the nature of what they do with stand up comedians particularly, not all comedians, but stand up comedians tend to have to be a little bit on the ball. They have to be able to kind of, walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, since they have to have a written out comedic sketch as well as deal with hecklers in real time and be able to adjust on demand to keep things entertaining. So it tends to attract smarter people in the entertainment industry than in other aspects of the entertainment industry. I think the dumbest people in entertainment are probably musicians, but that's neither here nor there. Eight Ball pulls his moonlit on the technicality the economists could prevent the Great Depression. I don't see how. First of all, hedge funds typically ruin. I don't see how that would work. Like, let's assume that hedge funds existed in the 1800s, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't. But even if they did, these hedge fund investors typically don't care about tanking the economy as long as they can make a profit from it. That's number one. Number two, back in the 1800s, they were still dealing with classical economic theory, which proposed that individuals uh, were rational agents who typically did things in on behalf of their best interests, and we know we just know from psychology and behavioral science in total that that's just completely false. So I doubt that a singular economist, even if he was not of that classical economic breed, that he could have prevented the Great Depression, which actually happened in the 1920s. So um, I don't get that. Maybe you're confusing some timelines here. Moonlit says no cheese on a Cuban sandwich. That's sacrilege. He's at LOL. I love Miami. I haven't been to Miami yet either. I know that's gonna be. I know people are like, "What? You never been to Miami?" Once you go overseas, things like Miami, New York, and LA don't really mean shit. Because you know, RIP to the Godfather Kevin Samuels, but he used to always brag about Miami and New York and LA, but he never left the country. So I was like, no one gives anyone who's traveled outside the country doesn't give a fuck about Miami or LA or New York. They're nothing. What is my, you know, what is Miami to Tokyo? You know what I'm saying? What is New York to Paris? Um, you know, what is LA to Bali? So I don't know. Agatha says, sorry for your loss. Please accept my condolences. Thank you, Agatha. Mola says, Zadius, that's only what he says considered a source, but yes. DJ Lou says, have you ever visited LA? Oh, most definitely. That, so far, even though I just kind of crapped on it, I would say LA is by far my favorite city in America right now. Like, I think I see why everyone who from the East Coast when they come to LA just fall in love with it because I just, I was just there for a whole day and I just was like, man, this place is great. Not affordable, but if I could afford it, man, yeah, I would stay there. Red Scorpion says, my most sincere condolences for your loss. Thank you, Red Scorpion. I appreciate it. Paula says, hello, I'm new. What's going on, Paula? How are you? Mola says, if you don't want to repeat it, I didn't hear it about the lost brother. Yeah, when my elderly cousins died, she was suffering from, dementia and some other things. And she came to stay at my grandmother's house, which is the reason why I moved back here so she could have that space. And I found out she passed away today, and it just struck me so hard because, for one, she was my great. She was my grand aunt's daughter, and so my grand aunt was like a grandmother to me. That was like, we called her Nana, and she was always so sweet to me. Like, she used to work as a lunch lady when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, and she used to always bring me and my other cousins, those cookies. Remember the school? If you're not from America, you won't know what I'm talking about. But people who grew up in the 80s and 90s remember the school lunch cookies. She used to always bring us a bunch of those. Um, then, like, when I came over, she always would fix me whatever I wanted. Um, she would ask me, do I want some fried chicken or do I want some pork chops or whatever, and she would fix it for me. And this is back when I was, and my mom would allow it, even though we were, when I was a little kid, I was still Muslim. But hey, we're not, no one telling Nana that she can't fix me some pork chops. So I was Muslim, still eating pork chops. So, um, and she died like 13 years ago, and that hit me pretty hard. Um, and then so my cousin felt like a continuance of my aunt, and it just last year, like I think it was for Christmas dinner. It was either Christmas dinner or Halloween. No, sorry, it was either Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving. She made the pork chops, and they tasted just the way my aunt used to fix them, and it was so great. And it was just like to see her from like you know being healthy. Well, she was still having health problems back then, but she wasn't really dealing with dementia or anything like that. But just to see her go from that last year where she was fixing like pork chop just like my aunt to like being in this nursing home where I visited her and dealing with dementia, and then just suddenly passing away today was kind of hard. So as soon as I found that out, like I was I didn't want to crash out, so I just immediately went for a run. I mean, I was going to run anyway, but I was like, pfft, I just went outside immediately, just started running, and came back. I still felt some type of way, so I went out back, did some shadow boxing. Then I called my friend. I was like, "Hey, can we go to the gym? I don't want to be home." And we hit the weights for like 2 hours. So I'm feeling better now. So Butterfly says, "Hey, what's up, Butterfly?" Mina Yada official says, "Hello, what's up, Mina? Mina." Butterfly says, "Do you like Spider-Man into the Spider Verse?" Absolutely, dope movie. That's a dope movie. Absolutely, I like it. Javier Cito G says hello. He said, "I got a question to say." Well, just spit it out. Moonless Fern says, "Redundant. Just ask." Yeah, guys, if you have a question, just say the question. It's redundant to ask, "Can I ask a question?" If you ask, "Can I ask a question?" you literally just ask a question. I hate to be like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, but sometimes I get his exasperation with verbal pleasantries. It's me, Mario says, "What are we talking about?" Today is Ask Me Anything Tuesday, Mario. Crocky Meme says, "Will you take song requests to play on your phone?" Not really. I mean, you can mention songs, but I mean, I really don't listen to music that often other than when I play Spotify when I work out. That's pretty much it. Or sometimes I'll listen to YouTube music um, again while I'm working out. But usually I really don't listen to music that much anymore except when I'm working out. Well, which is a lot though. I work out every day, but like if I'm running, I love music in like while like in the MMA gym or doing Muay Thai, or the background music like while you're at the gym. Jackson Smooth says, "Getting cramps in my hamstrings. Uncle, what should I do?" Well, one, you should stretch, and two, you need more electrolytes. Um, I have pickle juice by my bed because I often get Charlie horses at night. Um, Also, you can use mustard. Mustard can be used for cramps, or like I said, get an electro, or just get some Gatorade, or buy some bananas, because it's different types of electrolytes. So sodium is the most common and the one that gets depleted pretty quickly, but can be really easy to replete. Whereas whereas potassium isn't depleted as much, but um, bananas are a very good source of potassium and can prevent those cramps. So that's what I would say. Stock up on Gatorade, bananas. Um, like I say, if you have to, you can always in a pinch use mustard or pickled juice from a pickle jar to alleviate those cramps and stretch. I don't know how old you are, but stretching is beneficial. I'm probably gonna stretch a second time today too, since I came from the gym and I'm really sore. Yanni Nilam says, "Hello, buddy. What's up, Yanni?" John says, "Hi from San Antonio, Texas." What's up, John? DJ Real says, "I like dark comedians, edgy, clever stuff." So, guys, I'm gonna go soon. When this music goes off, that's gonna be my cue to get off as well. But I don't know, the music might outlast how long I'm on, or I might outlast how long the music is on. We'll see which comes first. Whichever comes first, we're looking at about a half an hour. Moonlit says same as far as comedians. Cypher says keep yapping. I'm almost finished. Yeah, well, you're getting deleted. Red Scorpion says I have all 12 of the original Crisis on Infinite Earths and the graphic novel that I use for reading. I just had the graphic novel. I don't like buying the singular issue comics unless it's like a number one issue to a collection. I prefer to buy it in the trade. Well, I prefer to get it in the trade paperback or in a graphic novel than to buy all the single issue comics. Plus, I found out that the writers and artists make more money from the trade paperbacks than they do the single issue comics anyway. So it's a win-win. One, I'm getting the entire story in one book instead of having to buy each issue separately. And two, the artists and writers are getting paid more for me buying the trade paperback. So um, Red Scorpion says, seems we have a lot in common. Comics, education, former U.S. Army, and I was a professional cage fighter. Whoa, that's what's up, man. I'm still trying to. Well, I'm not trying to go professional, but I do want to compete. Probably like Muay Thai or some kickboxing. I don't know if I have the chutzpah to do cage fighting. Maybe point MMA. I could do point MMA, but the, to go full throttle at it, I don't know. You got more like you got more balls than I do. Moonlit says, Red, what's your MOS and which cage? Mr. Century says, do you drink and drive? Absolutely not, and nor should anyone else. Moonlit says, I prefer Tokyo. When we were talking about Miami, guys, so yeah, Tokyo is the best. It's the largest city in the world. There's any and everything to do. And despite it being in Japan, you can find any food that you want in Tokyo. I didn't know that. I was scared when I first went there that I would be stuck eating seafood, and I don't like seafood. And I found out from a friend who had lived there for like 5 years and then came back to live there another like year or two after that, that they literally have every food there that you can want. And then the you know the late great Anthony Bourdain said the same thing. He said you can literally get any food you want in Tokyo, and it's true. So Tokyo is just dope. Tokyo is an expensive place to live, but as far as food, food is surprisingly affordable in Tokyo because you have so many different levels to get to access food. So I mean, even if you're looking at the local convenience store level, like they serve like real food in the convenience stores. It's not just garbage. Um, Plus, I mean, since 7-Eleven is now headquartered in Japan, they have the best 7-Elevens in the world. Like basically all the best 7-Elevens now are in East Asia. So if you think 7-Eleven is trash because you live here in America, try a 7-Eleven overseas. Like Moonlit can tell you 7-Eleven in Thailand is lit. 7-Eleven in the Philippines is lit. 7-Eleven in Japan is the best. So Cass says, I'll be back in about 20 minutes if you're still on. Appreciate it, Cat. Moonlit says, damn, I'll skull a drink for her now. Rest in paradise. Condolences, big love, brother. Thank you, man. Uh, Aggressive Edit says, hello. What's up, Aggressive? Red Scorpion says, at Moonlit, I was a 44 Bravo, a dirty welder. He's I never signed with a big promotion, but I had a good promoter and traveled a lot. I mean, that's still. I mean, look, if you're a professional cage fighter, you get all my respect. I don't care if it was like not big or whatever. Anyone who steps in the cage has balls, right? It it doesn't matter if you're like a major UFC contender or whatever. Like the fact that you did it and you did it professionally speaks volumes, bro. So that's what's up. So I wish I did it. I was originally in my younger years. I was going to be going to Sanda, or back then they still called it San Show, Chinese kickboxing, and I never did because I stopped going to that gym where I was training. It was a Jikundo gym, but they were going to train me to do Sanda, but I left that gym and ended up going back to college, so I never got to keep up my training with them. Movie Short Society says you look like a therapist. Some people say I sound like a therapist too, so I'll I'll take that as a compliment. SG says coconut drink. I don't know what that means, but I definitely don't like coconut water if that's what you're referring to. I've tried it, don't like it, and I don't like anything that's infused with coconut in it either. Just don't like the taste of it. But that maybe that's just me. Especially because like I used to try it when I used to get a lot of when I used to get Caribbean food because I love Caribbean food, particularly Jamaican or Trini food, and I just never could get into the coconut water or coconut drinks. Jaden says, "Okay, I'm back." Agnes says, "Okay, guys, getting ready to board the airplane. Have a wonderful day. Um, have a have a safe travels, Agatha. We'll see you when you hit MIA." uh, the Forest Trekker says you can also put Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt into your water for electrolytes. True, but uh, it doesn't sound tasty. But I mean, no more or less tasty than mustard or pickle juice, right? But I would say, hey, just buy Gatorade or Powerade, like some sort of buy buy some sports drinks. And you can buy them in bulk, so it's cheap. Buy them in bulk, so you have them at home when you need them, right? And like I said, probably buy bananas too, because um, the power, well, the energy drinks, well, not the energy, the sports drinks probably are higher in sodium than they are in potassium. Some may have both, depending on the quality of the brand that you use, like Gatorade or Powerade or whatever. But stretch, you need to stretch as well. Maybe you whatever ails you is germane to maybe your lack of leg mobility or flexibility. So you might want to stretch. Fast Striker says just a couple of pinches. If you do uh, add some salt to your drink, I would say put it in something sweet to kind of uh, um, keep from having those so it doesn't just taste like salty water. Or you could like with the sports drinks, you can buy the ones that just come in a in the what you call it, in the little packets. Get the little You can get the sport drink little packets that you could just dump it in water and stir it up. That might be cheaper than buying the drinks. Just buying the sports drink electrolyte packet, the little packets. I have those. I keep some of those in my bug out bag. I keep like some instant coffee and the electrolytes packets in my bug out bag in case I need them. Melissa is very true, Forest. Ashley says badass. He said BJJ. Okay, so you do BJJ, SG? I've been meaning to get into it. I've clowned on BJJ for a long time, but I am more than willing to dive into it. Probably because I miss judo and BJJ is similar to judo, so I'm thinking I would enjoy it because I enjoy judo. Although I can be completely wrong, since most of what we did in judo was from a stand-up position, whereas I think most what you do on BJJ is already um, on the ground or the from the from the Newaza techniques, I guess. Jazz Chanel says, "Hello, bro. What's up, Jazz?" Jane says, "I heard that you can time out someone for 5 years. For real? Not on a vertical live stream. You can. You can only on a vertical. You can only time out someone for like 24 hours, which is a day. Now, probably on a PC live stream, you could probably do that. Shoot, the person might not even having a channel within 5 years." Jane says, "So it's technically a ban. If I'm just gonna ban someone, I'm just gonna ban someone outright. I'm not gonna do a timeout for 5 years. That's silly. That's just ultimate disrespect. I'm a time you out. You can come back in 5 years, mother." Sushankar Satya says hi. What's up, Sushankar? DJ Lou says, I heard drinks like Gatorade are banned in Europe along with other food products from the US. I don't know if they are, but I wouldn't be surprised because, as we know now, with getting into like the FDA and what RFK Jr. is going to do with all these products with chemicals in them, that we know that other countries don't allow the types of chemicals and the amount of chemicals in our in food that they allow here in the U.S. Even when it's a similar thing, like say like a cereal, like the cereal will have much less additives in it than they would here. A lot of those additives are made are to be fair, a lot of them are added in as preservatives, and then some of them are also added in to be um, to make the food more addictive. So, Red Scorpion says I started fighting in '93 when I was in Stuttgart. Judo, boxing, and Greco-Roman wrestling. Retired when I hit 38. Body couldn't heal right anymore. Man, I hear that. I'm 47, so I might be completely out of my league one to compete. Mind you, when I wanted to, it was like uh, it was 7 years ago, like over 7 years ago when I was gonna compete. And more than likely, if I did it right now, I'm going to use some sort of um, how should I put it? Puff, puff, athletic performing uh, substances. Definitely creatine, but I don't think anyone has a problem with creatine. But maybe some other, like I would probably consult a physician for like HRT. But again, I wouldn't do it professionally. I would just do like a few fights just to add that to my repertoire and to say that I did it. Especially since I'm a self defense coach, so to say that I fought professionally a few times, it would be nice to add to my credentials. Jaden says you are the kindest man I've known, unless I've got on your bad side. Never got on my bad side that I can remember. RJ Berger says, "Hey yo, what are we talking about?" This is Asking Me Anything Tuesday, RJ Berger. So we're talking about any and everything. He said Fanta is completely different in Europe. I could imagine. So, like I said, I think a lot of brands are different. Like, here's one thing I know: not a specific brand, but just a specific food type. So, candy in Japan has much less sugar in it than it does here in America, because a lot of more sugar is added into food here to make it more addictive. But even though there's less sugar in the Japanese candy, it tastes just as sweet. Like if you get Japanese candy, it's delicious. Like high chews or something like that. You can't tell that it's less sugary than its American counterparts here, but that's a good example. Like I wouldn't mind someone, despite people saying RFK Jr. is a conspiracy theorist. I wouldn't mind someone like him saying, "Hey, y'all gonna cut this shit out. Like y'all not gonna keep feeding Americans this bullshit when when this stuff isn't added into food in any other country other than here." I look forward to that. Jane says, "I wish one day I was your mod. Once I get to know you better, it's just a matter of time and trust, and also having enough people to moderate." Mullen Fern says, "Big salute, Red." He said, "I'm 42 with a fracture and torn tendon in my right foot. Sucks and looks horrible and feels like hot lava." Oh, I'm sorry about that, Moonlit. He said, "Y'all caught up on the chat, fam. Thanks. Thank goodness." Red Scorpion says, "I subbed. I look forward to watching you on YouTube. Hurrah, brother." Appreciate it, Red Scorpion. Appreciate it a lot. And guys, I've been actually doing this for 2 years, so I have a huge catalog of old videos. Like I have most of them are long form videos, and then last year I started just doing a whole bunch of YouTube shorts to kind of tweak, you know, tweak the algorithm. So I started off doing a bunch of long form videos, then I switched to doing a lot of YouTube shorts, and then I started doing a lot of live streams. Now I do a combination of the three. Um, but yeah, if you guys want to check that out, like I have huge catalogs of older videos on all sorts of stuff. Like I have stuff just on martial arts training. I have one on martial arts myths. I have stuff on traveling, and I think those are the main three. And you know, I'm probably gonna start a second channel sooner or later just on martial arts alone. So we'll see. Moonlit says hooah. Red Scorpion says thank you, Moonlit. Busy Buzzer one says hello. What's up, Busy Buzzer? Red Scorpion says I'm 50 by the way. Hey, that's what's up. I'll be 50 one of these days. RJ says I think it'd be huge when the first representative outside the two parties that exist now at any level in government. Alpha Shaveris is good for you. Um, I don't know what you're saying. Good for me, but thank you. I think. Jane says you look just like my dad. Not gonna lie, he sounds like a good looking brother. RJ says to get elected. Oh, okay. Sorry. He says, let me reread your statement so it makes sense to everyone. He said, I think it'd be huge when the first representative outside the two parties that exists now gets elected at any level of government. No, so there are people there are independents and there are libertarians in federal government. It's just none of them have ever been on the presidential level. If that's what you mean. But yeah, we have independents, we have libertarians, and we even have Green Party all in Congress, either mostly in the House of Representatives, not so much in the Senate. But even in the Senate, we have some independents like Bernie Sanders, and we have some libertarians. Um, and then, like I said, in the House of Representatives, we even have like the Green Party. So, John Smith says, "Can you please turn off your live and leave us alone?" You came into my live stream. Well, you timed them out. You timed them out, Molly. I was just about to roast them. You actually saved them. I was about to I was about to cook them. You actually saved them. To be honest, you saved them from a brutal cooking. Out. Here's the thing, guys. When you hear me repeating what the insult someone said was, I'm about to cook them. It was coming. No diddy. Uh, Jay says, "Yo, Red Scorpion says good night. All it was fun being here. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks, Red Scorpion. Appreciate it, bro." Paul says, "Haha, John." He said, Jane says that's rude. Nah, he was about to get cooked, man. Jane says, "Nah." He said, "Well deserved." Ada says, "Hey." There's something wrong with my filter here. I've replaced the filter, but it still doesn't. I don't know. This is my travel. This is just my little travel water. Like I take with me on it every like when I'm going overseas. I always bring my little travel Brita filter in case I need it at the airport. Sydney Gray says, "Do you know God?" Never met him. Alpha says, "You look like Dikembe Mutombo when he was young." No, I don't. Look. Look. First of all, Dikembe Mutombo was like what, close to 7 foot tall. And he has like very strong features. Um, I don't think I don't think I look like Dikembe Mutombo when he was younger. Not in my house, please. Yeah, I don't think I ever looked like Mutombo. He was a cool dude. Did he just pass away recently, or something happened? I don't know if he passed away or something with Mutombo. It was in the news a few weeks ago. Hopefully, it wasn't him passing, but for some reason I think that's what it was. But I don't think I've ever looked like Mutombo, honestly. Jaden says, "Who doesn't?" Duolingo Espanol says, "Do you speak Spanish?" No, I don't. Mullen says, yeah, he would he'd have been roasted heavily. Where Ben S says, hello, what's up? He said, how are you doing? I'm all right. Alpha Shavir says, yeah, he did. DJ Lou says, buenas noches, amigo. Edda says, you're a nice guy. Thank you, Adya. Is it Adya or Atha? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Stephanie Lara says, shout out, please. Um, are you you deleted a person before? I was gonna say, hey, throw me a super chat and you can get all the shout outs you want. I'm about to switch to my other water. I think I'm gonna make me another peanut butter and jelly sandwich before I go to bed too. I was just smashing them earlier. Oh, by the way, guys, peanut butter and jelly sandwich is an amazing protein source. Like I know there's so many NBA players swear by it for some reason. Like they'll just like eat a ton of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches prior to a game for like the protein. Personally, I would get like steak or something, or but probably because it's less. It probably won't having something like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as opposed to like steak or roast or baked chicken probably won't weigh them down before a fight. I mean, before a game is probably why they choose peanut butter and jelly. But it does have an amazing amount of protein in it, and I think the peanut butter and the jelly combined with the bread makes it a complete protein source. I'm about to eat another one of those bad boys after I get off. Jane says, "How old is your channel?" I'm just curious. I started in 2022, so like I said, it's roughly 2 years old. Travis says, "Unk." DJ Lou says, "You just spoke Spanish right now." Well, I was repeating what you said. I don't, but like I said, I don't know Spanish. Like I can't have a conversation in Spanish. Literally, like the only thing I learned in Spanish was when I was in working in a call center, and I read and learned how to say sorry, but I don't speak Spanish. Are you comfortable speaking English? But like that's the only thing I knew in Spanish how to say, and I don't even remember how to say that properly. So it says Athia. Okay, sounds Indian or Desi, like if you're from like the Indian or Desi community. Cool name. DJ Lou says, hell yeah, PBJ. Travis says, can I pass you the switch if we get pulled over? Negative. You're gonna take if you're gonna do the crime, you're gonna have to do the time, bro. I don't. Mm-mm. I'm not Shine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm not Shine. I'm not taking a rap for someone else. Shine's still the bigger man for taking a rap for Diddy. I wouldn't. She should have called that man out and said, nah, he was the one shooting, not me. But whatever. Jaden says, ever had a peanut butter Nutella sandwich? No, because I haven't really liked Nutella. I've tried other things than grape jelly though. Like I've had like apple jelly. I've tried marmalade. Um, and I really just wanted to try marmalade just because I remember it when as a kid that Paddington Bear used to love marmalade, and I had no idea what marmalade was other than Paddington Bear liked it. So when I saw my mother buy it, I tried it on the peanut butter sandwich, so it was good. Um, so yeah, but I haven't tried Nutella. I've tried jelly, jam, and marmalade. Magenta says, "Do you believe O.J. Simpson did it?" Uh, so we're going back to 1995 now. um, did he do it? Um, do I believe he did it? Rather, I don't know. I would say probably. I would say he probably did. but I don't know. In crime statistics, it's usually the person closest to you that was the one who murdered the victim. That tends to be family members, spouses, close friends. You put on some more music, but I'm about to go. But I'm about to get off you guys because I said whichever ends first, the music or the stream. The music ended first, so I'm about to. That to me is my sign to get off, and it's 3 hours, so right around the same time. Three hit 3 hours, and the music ended, and the music was 3 hours long. Moonless has ever tried peanut butter and banana sandwich or even diced cucumber with it. It's amazing. I've had peanut butter with celery and with carrots, but not with cucumbers, not with bananas. The first time I even heard of peanut butter and bananas, which I thought was disgusting, was Mr. Rogers. I saw Mr. Rogers doing Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I'm like, ew, what are you doing, Mr. Rogers? I'm like, I'm like 6 years old, and I'm looking at, I'm like, what you doing, Mr. Rogers? Like peanut butter and bananas. I'm like, ew. So, but nah, I haven't tried it. Jade says, "Can I be a mod?" I don't know who you are, who you even are, Jade. So that's going to be a no go for me. No offense to you though, but I don't know who you are. Moonlit says, "I love Nutella." Moonlit says, "Jade, chill." Beverly Stafford says, "What's the key to lifelong forgiveness?" I don't know, and I'm not sure if you should have lifelong forgiveness with someone if they did something that wrong. I don't know. Afia says, "Yeah, I'm Indian." Oh, I figured that. Jaden says, "Word." Moonlit says, "W shine." Where man came back as a senator. Beverly says, "Have you ever done a 40-day water fast?" Absolutely not. I don't believe in fasting. Well, that's not true. I believe in intermittent fasting, but I would never do a 40-day water fast. I see absolutely no point for it. How I'm gonna do that, and I'm athletic. I can't I can't be athletic and not consume food. I can't do long I can't do long runs. All my runs last over an hour long daily, and then do martial arts and then hit the gym without consuming protein and carbs and fats. I seen absolutely no point of a 40-day water fast except something a fat person would do in the frail hopes of losing money. I mean, losing, well, you definitely losing money, of losing, of losing weight. But what they don't realize is they're not just losing, they're just losing water. Well, all it's going to come back to them once they eat again. Like, so that doesn't work. It's not a healthy idea. DJ Luce's peanut butter and bacon sandwich will change. Nah, mm-mm. Uh-uh. I'm not even a huge fan of peanut butter, so peanut butter in, outside of anything than a peanut butter sandwich or peanut butter and jelly sandwich or peanut butter and crackers is going to be a no go for me, guys. I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter, so mm. Only thing I want with bacon is more bacon, or have it with a burger or steak sub or chicken salad, or I've even tried it with tuna. Uh, but yeah, no, that's a no go for me. That's just like people who try to uh, mix ice cream with bacon. I'm like, no, bacon and ice cream. Mm-mm. I bacon is delicious. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean it can go with everything. Only thing to go with everything is fruit snacks. Moonless says Paddington Bear. Wow, he said I haven't heard that in years. Nostalgic, right? He said Jordan says Elvis thought so. Yeah, and you saw how big Elvis got before he died, right? Beverly says, "Are you familiar with the Marquita side? Do you think his spirit lives in some of these music moguls?" I'm not that familiar with them. I just know the term sadism comes from Marquita side. Um, as far as music moguls, his spirit living in them, no. I just think people who have access to any and everything they want don't always act responsibly. That's just human nature. John says, "What do you think about India?" I mean, not much. Probably like to visit. I probably like to visit, but it's not on my immediate travel list. Cat says, "Hey, lovelies, I'm back, sort of." Well, I'm about to go anyway, so it's cool. Robert Maxey says, "Eagles Super Bowl, yes or no?" I'm not a football fan. John says, "William, please don't." I don't know what he did, but he retracted it, so I don't know what he did. Kelly says, "Hello, hope all is good." Thank you, Kelly. I'm losing my voice, guys, so I'm about to go. Beverly says, "You look like a happily married man, just peaceful and content." I am. I have a good wife. A great wife. I'm sorry. Correction. Great wife. John says, "Bro, giving us the finger when adjusting the glasses." No, I'm not. I'm not using my. Was I using my middle finger? No. If I was gonna give people the bird, I would just straight up give them the bird. But I'm not doing that. So Alpha says, "Do you know Shaquille O'Neal?" Of course. Who doesn't? Vladimir says, "Hello from Russia, brother." What's up, Vladimir? Gouda Kid LA says, "Gus Fring, that you?" Well, you earned a timeout. Well, I'm about to go anyway, so have fun with that. Once I get to the last message, guys, I'm out. Beverly says, "You look educated, the master's degree level." Well, I haven't finished my master's, but yeah, I was working on my master's. So Jane says, "After the stream, I'm going to try and comment on all of your videos." That would be a daunting task, but hey, if you want to, salute. Okay. Khalil Roman says, "You're a billionaire." Far from it, dude. Dude. I'm not even a six-figure near. Like, I wish. Donald Cancela says, "Bacon and cream eggs." Bacon. Oh, bacon and cream eggs. Okay. I'm not an egg person. So Alpha says Shavira. I'm sorry. Alpha Shavira says, "Who do you think is better, LeBron or Kobe?" Kobe. Kobe has more rings, and he did it with one team. So, and he didn't have to do it taking steroids, whatever. But oops, did I say that? Sorry. John says, "What is your favorite song?" I I don't have a favorite song. I would have to think about it, but I really don't have a favorite song. JP McFancy says, "Got a Kid LA, you wild for that, bro." I forgot what he even said, so uh, if it wasn't retracted, so yeah, I can't even see it. Belly says, "Your smile is beautiful. Uh, is that an awesome orthodontist or DNA natural?" That's natural because I never finished my orthodontics. Like I started with some braces back in college, and then I just stopped abruptly. So I never finished my correctional thing. But I do remember the dentist asking were my front teeth natural. I'm like, yeah, like. But if I do go back to orthodontics, I'm not going to get the braces. I'm probably just going to get the Invisalign. So Robert Max says, "Damn, checks out. Keep it open minded." JP says, "You look like a retired singer." I wish. I remember some kids said something like that. Like one day I was just walking outside, and these kids were like, they was like, "Excuse me," they was like, "Are you a?" They was like, "Are you a actor or something?" I'm like, "No." I mean, I don't know who they thought I looked like, but I wish I was famous and had money. Like I said, if I was famous and had money, guys, I would still be doing, the content creation thing, but I would not delve into anything political or religious whatsoever. It would be a very generic sort of content creation. Rob says, "Sup, bro? How you doing? I'm all right." Beverly says, "Thumbs up." Um, I see her love all over you. It's beautiful to see. Thank you. She's in some of my old live. She's in a few of my live streams. She did a few live streams with me, and she's in some of my videos as well. So if people want to, so I do show her. I didn't show her though until I got monetized because I was like, I'm not going to use her as a way of getting monetized. So like I was only going to show her after I was monetized and got uh my first 1,000 followers. I didn't want to use her as a way of getting eyeballs because it would have been the easy thing to do, but I wasn't going to exploit my wife for that purpose. Prince Kumar says hello and hello friends. What's up, Prince Kumar? Jane says I know it will take a long time to comment on all of the videos, but trust the process. See you then. All right, I appreciate it, man. Thanks in advance. Jatniel Gomez says, Is this friendly channel to everyone? Indeed, it is. Jane says, I'm not leaving though. Cool. Andrew Denavellis says it's Don Cheadle's cousin. Negative. Beverly says, Thank you for your time tonight. A regular man, no drama, trauma, and tarot cards. Just a nice human being saying hello. So I've heard that there's a lot of live streamers that do tarot cards. I have not seen one. Like I said, the person who I befriended on here, she does do tarot cards in the Philippines, but she's literally the only one I know that does tarot cards. I don't know anyone else that does. I wouldn't dabble in it because I don't know how to play with them anyway. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe playing with tarot cards, maybe that gets a lot of buzz. I don't know. Andrew says you look like Don Cheadle. I do not. Billy says you look like a coach motivating a musician. I am a coach. I am a self defense coach, and I have done some life coaching as well. I figured, well, hey, so many people are life coaches, and they have not a bit of background in psychology. I was like, shit, I actually have a bit of background in psychology. Why not be a life coach? But I've only done it with two clients so far. Sonia Real sending love, thank you. Gorky says, "Where are you from? The U.S." Adam says, "I'm Sofa King. We tied did. I don't know what that means." Jatniel seems like he's mentally ill, so I'm gonna put him on time. Bye bye. Sonia. Sonia gave a little smile. Thank you. Name a car for edit. No, I mean what? I don't know what that means. Name a car for edit. If you talk to me in Gen Z talk, I don't know what you're talking about. Beverly says, "I love to see a man that is loved, respected, and adored. Even though we don't see her, we see the evidence of her love and peace on you. So many broken brothers. It's nice to see a loved one." Well, like I said, you can see her in some of my videos if you want to check her out. We've done a few live streams together. She would have done more with me, but I was having a problem bringing her on the when the screen share. Like my screen share hasn't been working. I had to see what's wrong with it. I don't know if the screen share was just with a firewall in the Philippines, or if it's a problem with my screen share with my channel. Because I also try to bring on someone else, another Filipina who is a friend of mine and wanted to come on so I could help her, like, you know, get get some donations, and I couldn't bring her on either. So I'm not sure if there's a firewall or it's just or my screen share doesn't working, but I need to test that out. And I just forgot because I've been busy. Dancing on the Sun says self defense, bro. Don't make threats in the hood, huh? That doesn't make a bit of sense. Beverly says, "Love you. Wear your skills confidently. Thank you." Martin says, "What's the discussion about?" Is asking me Tuesday, but since Tuesday is over, I'm about to end this live. I'm just getting through the end of my comments and I'm done. Darknet WCROI says, "Which college did you graduate from?" Maryland, University of Maryland. Jane says, "Dancing on the Sun." What you mean about that? Yeah, no one knows what "Dancing on the Sun" means. He's gonna have to specify. Tim C says, "His broski was cooking good looking." Dude, don't call another man good looking. That's mad sus. The wisest guy says, "What's a pun joke you like?" Uh, Random Aviation Kid says, "Hi, I'm new. What's up?" Jane says, "Can we get a quick room tour? If not, that's okay." You know, my room is in disarray. I don't want to I don't want to embarrass myself like that. On another day when I have everything together, but it's like 1 o'clock at night and everything's kind of strewn about, so don't want to do that. I'm gonna get off, guys. I'm gonna go make me a quick peanut butter sandwich again before I go to bed, and I'm gonna call it a night, way above my bedtime. I actually like to get to bed around 9:30, 10, but we'll see. This hasn't been conducive to that. Beverly says no need to see her. We see how she makes you feel comfortable, shareable, and free. Thanks, Beverly. Cat says night contrarian. Thanks, Cat. Beverly says have a great night. Thank you, Beverly. Hope you stick around um, for my other streams. They're usually around the same time, around 10 p.m. East, somewhere between 9 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Invincible says hello. What's up? So I'm out, guys. Have a good night. Someone trying to be racist and they can't even spell a name. They can't even spell a racial slur out. He just named Niger. Dummy. So, anywho, I'm out. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that cat. Yeah, thanks. All right, guys. So I'm out. Everyone, take care. Thank you, Moonlit, for helping me moderate. Agatha, Cat. Thank you guys for helping me. I'll talk to you all later. All right. Thank you.